The following may contain language which will be offensive to some people and inappropriate for children. Still here? Then pour your favorite beverage and let's get this fucking show started.
Fantastic Forum, assemble. You are watching Fantastic Forum, the premier show about comic books and your live weekly conversation about entertainment and geek culture. We are the Fantastic Forum, coming to you live and direct from the Hall of F. Hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, as the case may be, depending on where you are in the world. And if you're not, you should stick with us. We'll help you take it up a notch. You have the usual suspects in the building. First, he is our riddle inside of an enigma trapped in Chinese finger cuffs. You don't know him. You'll love him anyway. He's our silent assassin, Jay.
Hey, what's up?
Next, he is our intrepid senior reporter. He's next in line for the cowl. He's our resident Dark Knight detective.
Jeez. See how he does me?
It's Oz.
Like, dog already annoyed that I'm doing the show. Now you gotta do me like that?
Wait, your dog? What? What happened? What did I do?
He's annoyed. He's like whining and barking at me. We were playing right before I got on. Now he's annoyed.
Got it. Oh, there he is.
I see his poofy tail right there.
Next, we have the backbone, the pillar, the strength of Fantastic Forum, our nigh invulnerable brawler and resident strongman, Moses Magnum.
What's up? I got a poofy tail too.
You got a poofy tail. Look, what are you drinking right out the bottle like that?
Don't worry about that. We're doing a show. We're talking about Boba Fett and Naomi and something Green Hell. But Dean is a camera shy, and so I got this poofy tail just so I could have my dog back here too.
Okay. Well, geez, there it is.
Mo out here. As soon as I tell him, "Oh, come here," and then he looks at the light, he's like, "Nah, I'm good." He stays in the shadow.
Fair.
It's just apple juice, Larry. Apple juice. Jim Beam fine apple juice.
As for myself, my name is Lawrence Young. They call me Mir Young. Welcome to Fantastic Forum. As Mo ran down already, we got a great show for you today, because we are going to be talking to you all about the Book of Boba Fett. We are going to be talking to you all about Swamp Thing Green Hell, and we are going to be talking to you all about the new CW show, DC Comics, Naomi. So we got all that happening, and of course, whatever else it is that you all want to talk about. But before we do all that, we want to make sure that we thank Mr. Scott Rubin, because without him, the show would not have happened. So thank you, Scott. And hope you're doing well. So with that said, I guess we should tell you all how it is you can get down with Fantastic Forum. Here's how we do it.
I was counting on you skipping it this week again.
Oh, did I skip it last week?
Yeah.
Want to get in on the action?
Well, then,
call Fantastic Forum on Skype and join the fun. Too shy to call in? That's okay. You can join the Discord chat room available at
fantasticforum.live.
Join the party. You know you want to.
Yeah,
indeed. Thank you, intern. Appreciate you.
If you skipped it this week, I was gonna accuse you of retaliatory behavior.
Oh no! Right. This time he stepped all over it, because how dare she speak when men are speaking?
No, see.
Oddly enough, she never complained about that.
What?
Oddly enough, she never complains about that.
So anyway, if you got something you want to say, we have a chat room. We have the call-in. Like, you can literally go to fantasticforum.live, call right into the show, and we'll bring you in. Or you can just jump into chat. We'll include the chat comments directly into the show. Jay, insert witty chat comment here, please.
Tiger Claw says, "What's up, Fantastic Forum? What you thought of episode 3 of the Book of Boba Fett? Some good stuff in it."
I mean, that feels like a perfect segue. Are you all ready to get into some Book of Boba Fett?
Yes.
No. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. Wow.
Oh, no.
Okay. It's about to be one of those shows, huh? Okay. Got it. Can we do the TV theme? The TV open? Thanks.
Yes.
TV review open? Oh.
Also,
no, more about gel coat. When the fourth round,
don't you call it?
does it look good already? Jumbo Scampi for limited.
All right. I like that open. I like it a lot.
That's
Anyway.
not what you said last night.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means, but it was funny.
Your Uber Eats that's left. You didn't go get your food.
That was the
I was
intern.
like, who-
Out of your crap. She's leaving.
I guess so. I was like, who drove a truck right into the studio? Like, oh no. Okay, well, that's fair.
I blame Jay.
As you should. It feels like it's his fault. The Book of Boba Fett.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. The Book of Boba Fett.
There goes my hopes and my dreams down the road that is life and disappointment. And this show.
Jeez.
Not Fantastic Forum, the Book of Boba Fett. Sorry, I should specify.
Oh, jeez. Wow. Man, okay. The Book of Boba Fett, it's the latest Disney Plus television show. Of course, it's a Star Wars show starring Boba Fett, which has been a fan favorite character for decades now. This is the first time that we're getting, I guess, a major kind of media thing centered around Boba Fett. I feel like at the end of the last season of Mandalorian, this was something that a lot of people are looking forward to. It's finally here. What do you all feel now that you've actually got an opportunity to see get the opportunity to see 1, 2, 3, or 0 episodes? What do you think, Oz?
So, did he lose his nuts in that Sarlacc pit? What happened? I watched the first episode, and yeah, y'all were right. Well, not Lawrence, mostly Bo. Dude had a chance to escape and not only saves his captor, but then walks himself back to the people that are holding him in slavery. After he just told the other dude, "Hey, I could have got us out of here. I could have got us off world. We could have been done." And he walks himself right back into that. I mean, the kid, talking to other people, they say, well, the kid, he needed an escort back because he's a kid. To which I say, I mean, he lives there. That's his hood.
Right.
He can walk his ass back.
And who gives a fuck about that kid? Is the right answer.
Right. Yeah, that was just dumb. But I think Lawrence was also partially right with Boba Fett outside of the armor is way more, way less of a person than Boba Fett in the armor. It's like two different people. In the armor, he's the badass for like a couple of minutes, except for, you know, that time that Han Solo just kicked him into a pit with a giant vagina that ate him
by accident.
by accident.
He Jar Jar Binks them.
That wasn't Han Solo.
Oh no, it was a C-3PO, right?
No, Han Solo, like he was doing something. I think the stick he was holding is bust the jetpack, and he gets jetpacked into the pit. Right. Either way, it's a stupid way to go. I don't know how this character became so popular. He's on screen for like all of 5 minutes over 2 movies, and suddenly he's this thing that everybody thinks is the most amazing thing ever. Nobody knew anything about this guy. It's so dumb. And I didn't like he takes over Jabba the Hutt's old, like everything, entire business. And first dude that disrespects him, he's like, all right, well, I'm just gonna sit here and do nothing. You can go back to your guy. Meanwhile, his homegirl next to him is like, dude, just let me kill him. Like, we gotta send a message. Like, she should have taken charge of the thing. She's more badass than Boba Fett. Boba Fett over there constantly telling her, hey, don't kill people. Hey, don't kill that guy. You know, she should kill Boba Fett. Take over. I want to see a show with her. Ming-Na Wen is a much better actress.
Well, okay, that's true. But I mean, are we basically saying like
her character has bigger balls than Boba Fett?
So the only way to be a badass is through violence?
Well, look, you can be a badass without violence, and he's not doing that either. Like, he's no Vito Corleone. You know what I mean?
He literally says, "I'm a crime lord now." Yeah, but he doesn't do crime lord things. Yeah, you know, he doesn't have to abuse everybody. He doesn't, you know, like how he says, "I don't torture people." Okay, I get that. Sure, that's fine. But the dude that disrespects you, and really, it's not just the disrespect, is that his boss is essentially challenging him at that point. You know, his boss is saying, I ain't gonna give you shit. In fact, you're gonna pay me, and if you don't pay me, you're gonna hear about it later. That's a challenge to his authority and his position of power. You know, you can be nice, like when he spares the guards. That's fine. Yeah, be nice, bring them on your side, increase your strength. But if somebody's challenging your position, you gotta show them what's up. You can't just let that slide. You know, they're gonna use that against you. And whatever. Just because I keep forgetting her character's name, Ming-Na Wen understood that. Her character understands that.
Fennec Shan.
Okay, sure. You know, she understands that, and she's like, hey, you know, you gotta do something. He should listen to her a little bit more. I don't know. I don't know the show.
Now, did you watch Beyond?
Maybe. No, I just saw the first one, and yeah, it was done.
That's fair.
I'll probably watch the rest, but it feels like a lesser Mandalorian.
Dang.
Which he is.
That first episode is a lesser Mandalorian in quality too. Like not just in the characterization, but that was some, like, the fight scenes were good, but everything looked very Power Ranger-y.
Really? You feel like the production quality is less in this show than in Mandalorian?
That first episode. I since watched 2 more episodes, and it's a little different. But you can see what you know. They allocated funds by episode. I can tell.
Well, the second episode, and I understand that these shows tend to have 15 minutes of credits, but the second episode said it was 57 minutes long. The first one was only 37. Is that are the episode, was the third episode also a 50-something minute long episode?
Nah, it was like a 20-minute episode.
No.
Okay, so they make up for
the third episode is definitely shorter.
Yeah, and he gives the Warriors a job.
Well,
That's hilarious that you call these fools the Warriors. Oh my God, they look like the Warriors. That's so funny. They're like Cyborg the Warriors.
Yeah, and barely Cyborg. Like they don't have like the guy with the eye. Like he just looks like he has a bionic eye, but they don't show him using it for anything other than like the look. You know. At least the guy with the prosthetic leg, like he's got a spike on it, so he kicks that little flying car, you know. And then the chick with the arm, I mean, it's an arm, like she's a chick, so a stronger grip will help, you know, in case she's, you know, being accosted or whatever. What? Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
Like she's a chick, so she got a stronger grip in case she gets accosted.
We're right. You can choke somebody with that thing, you know. Like somebody tries to like, get you into a dark alley, and you got a bionic grip. You can rip a guy's throat.
Man, wait, what is Tiger Claw out here saying? They look like the neutrinos from the TMNT series. Like I remember the neutrinos. I can kind of see where he's coming from, but they don't look that much like the neutrinos.
And they have
what I will say is that they do have. Like, yeah, you're right. They do have hover Vespas, which was kind of hilarious.
Like super, like polished. Like they don't have a job, but they have the cleanest cars in the galaxy.
Look at these neutrinos.
Is that what I?
Jay, listen, I'm so happy you brought that picture up. It's so funny because I feel like there's like a third party. Listen, I thoroughly believe that Jay is a Neutrinos fan, 100%. Like just knowing him my whole life, yeah. No, don't shake your head, Jay. Don't shake your head. Just accept what you are. Live your truth.
I don't remember the Neutrinos.
Do you not remember them? Okay,
that's fair. I mean, they kind of look a little familiar, but like,
listen. Like
I feel like party, the girl they get separated and they're with the girl that's alone at one point.
I think so.
But listen, I don't. Yeah.
I just remember like they definitely give off like mad Mr. Mitchell Split Lick vibes. You know, I know that a third party company recently made like figures of these three neutrinos, and people were like, "Thank you," because apparently, I'm not sure who has the rights to make TMNT toys. I know there's a few different people that make them, but neutrinos weren't on the menu yet, and somebody was like, "Well, we'll fill that gap," and they made neutrinos, and they basically look just like that picture. So,
and they have a car.
That's after the. They do have a car. Yes, they do. I do remember the car, even though they didn't make that as a toy yet. But I say yet because, look, in this world...
The toys have a car. You can get it in red or blue.
Oh, what? Oh, I didn't know that. Jeez.
Tiger Claw says some people were comparing them to the Power Rangers, those kids. And yeah, that's it's a super like diverse group of fighting kids that have a color-coded like combination.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, they have a color-coded or a color coded combination for their scooter things, right? Their hover scooters.
Their clothes too.
Oh, they all have different colors on their clothes?
Yeah, like the dude with the eye, he's got a red hoodie and he's got the red Vespa.
Oh, I did not notice that their clothes match. So, oh wait, do you have the car? You have the car, Oz? Let's pull that up real quick. Hold on, before we get too far away, because Lord knows we're not gonna go back to neutrinos. Goddamn.
Oh no, I'm getting these.
You're gonna get these?
Yeah, I'm gonna get these.
Look, those are definitely some poor man's neutrinos right there. That's not what just came out. You don't want these.
Nah, but
you might want the car, but you don't want these figures.
Those are the original toys.
Oh, really? Is that what those are?
Yeah.
Okay, if they're from like the late 80s, then I'll give them that. Sheesh, man. I tell you. Anyway, okay. So
they made
what I will say...
Well, before we go on a tangent further, I did see that they made the 80s cartoon TMNT toys. They have them at Target, but they try to color them like with the shading of the cartoon, and it look a little weird. But I did almost
the shading of which cartoon?
Of the 80s cartoon.
Oh, okay.
Like they try to make them look 2D in a 3D space, if that makes any sense.
Wait, those are NECA toys? That's official, isn't it?
Yeah, these are the current figures.
Oh, okay. I thought it was third party. I didn't realize they were NECA. That's cool. Yeah, man, those are good looking figures.
I don't like how that girl's thrusting at me.
Yeah, look, listen, let's get that Comixology ad out of here. They're not paying us.
Hey,
you look.
I put my mouth over it like it's gonna do anything because it's not on my computer.
Hilarity. But anyway, so what I'll say is this: is what I understand that you know the thought process of like, hey, they're not that cyborgy, but at the same time, I feel like cyborgs in the Star Wars universe are very understated. And part of that might be because of the limitations in regards to like effects and things like that. Like, you know, I mean, let me put it like this. Obviously, the Star Wars movies are made in the 70s initially, right? Or the original Star Wars movies that set the aesthetic for everything that happens in the Star Wars universe from a, you know, future technology perspective, right? And then because Star Wars is Star Wars, whenever somebody decides to like make additional versions of what's happening in the Star Wars universe, it's like they are no one wants to be the ones that are like, oh, we like futurized or tried to update Star Wars and made it feel less like what the Star Wars aesthetic actually is, like that whole used future kind of thing, right? And so they make their technology in line with what Star Wars was from basically the original trilogy. And in that entire regard, everything is like much more understated because it's like we're trying to make it all feel cohesive. So cyborgs, for that reason, are understated. Like it's not RoboCop. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You don't have no cyborgs like RoboCop in Star Wars. All of them are like, you know, oh, we have a piece of metal on the side of your face right here, and it's like, yeah, you're a cyborg. That's an implant. You know, yeah. But it's basically like somebody cut a spoon in half and put it on the side of your face. You know what I mean?
The thing about it is, it's not just the cybernetic augmentations. Like I get it. Like they paid money to do that. That's their shtick. You know, I just wish we would have seen what the eye does. I mean, there was that scene where they're like, yeah, I'll keep my eye on it, you know, or mm-hmm. but mm-hmm. I want to see what the eye does. And we saw one of the other things do, so it's okay. It's just, and I get the Star Wars is more understated. Like the people that have it are usually because they got a little bit of money and they got like injured in battle, you know, and it's a mm-hmm. medical prosthesis. And then these people did it for they wanted to, you know, augmentations, mm-hmm. which is it's a cool thought. I like that. Yeah. I just don't know where they get that pearlescent paint for their Vespas. That don't look future to me. But that's part of it. Really like they're a gang and they find ways to do things like stealing the water for, you know, that's their whole story. So you know,
right.
They're no bad batch, but you know, they might get a series.
And you're hilarious. They are definitely not getting a series. Look, and it is very interesting because it is really interesting how, you know, they made a choice in regards to like what they're like. You keep hearing like, oh, there's this like like there's this biker gang that's messing with the water guy, right? And it's like they like I know what I pictured in my head as what Liv's like, oh man, like these gonna be like either some soup bikes or some speeders or I don't know what. What I definitely didn't picture in my head was like you said, like the friggin' like anti-grav Vespas or whatever. Like I was not thinking that at all. And it's like somebody made that choice, and I'm wondering, like, I don't know why they made that choice because it definitely has more of a like show bicycle kind of feel to their thing than it does like motorcycles.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Where it's like it's like it feels like a like really blinged out swing than it does like a motorcycle. And I'm not saying like a blinged out swing is cool. I'm not saying that that's not a cool thing, but I'm saying like even if, I mean, there are gangsters obviously in the hood that have like these blinged out bicycles, and I guess technically if they roll up on you with like 5 of them with one of those bikes, they're still gangsters. You know what I'm saying? Like I guess you won't be intimidated to a degree, but you're not gonna be as intimidated as if they pulled up on motorcycles.
Oz knows these dudes, the dudes that had the lowrider like beach cruisers. He knows those dudes. Those dudes look like they shouldn't be riding a bike at all. Like they got a couple
right.
They're using those because they can't get pulled over in those, so they think. But
so they think, right? So they believe.
But these kids don't look like those dudes are not trying to catch a case. Yeah. Jay,
you're right.
What did you think of Boba Fett, man? Like, I really wanted to hear your thoughts on the sparing of the kid for one, but all around too.
Jay, you're muted, Jay. You're 100% muted.
There you go.
So I forgot to watch it.
Oh my god.
I've
That's
had so much going on, and I just have almost no. I don't know. They haven't been advertising it because I haven't seen any ads anywhere.
I sent you a picture of it.
You did.
A picture I made.
You did.
I'm looking at a picture of these bikes.
But I don't know. It just something about the show is just not attaching itself to me. And I'm gonna try and watch it this weekend, maybe. Man. But I know even when I went to Disney Plus, because I was on Disney Plus this past weekend, there were no advertisements for Book of Boba Fett.
It was literally the first banner that popped up when I logged in.
I'm sure I'm 100% certain that like on the day that the episode comes out, it's like Oz said, it's the first banner you see.
But like fucking now make it on Wednesday though.
Well, I mean, yes and no, right? It's like
no,
like there's some people. Why? Yes, like what? I mean, what day do you want it to be? You want it to be Friday?
Yeah.
I mean, Jay's saying like, he's having trouble. The show's not catching on to him, but he hasn't seen any episodes. Like,
if it would have came out Friday,
you got to put it up to your nipple and see if it'll latch before you can say it doesn't want it.
I'm just saying,
what you have to do?
It's like a baby rancor.
I'm just saying, if Disney wanted me to watch it, they would have had it like showcased. Like,
well, but
I was literally on the app, and I was looking for something.
Showcased.
And it was like, there was no showcase. There was no. Oh, you might like watching this.
Jay,
Jay. You watched the Bad Batch. You might watch this.
There's 6 or 7 banners that go by on Disney Plus when you log in, like the main ones. And if you log in on Saturday or Sunday, Boba Fett is not going to be the main one because it was the main one on Wednesday and Thursday.
So then you can try harder.
I'm curious.
In fact, you know what? Today is Wednesday. Today is when I'm going to go on Disney Plus right now and see if
it's going to be the first thing you see. It's going to be the first thing you see.
Oh, Jay, damn.
Oh, man, Jay's serious. Jay muted.
Yeah.
Oh, where's he about to go?
So I was looking at a picture of these bikes.
Okay. Why are we focusing on Jay with no headphones? What is Jay about to do?
Screen? He's about to turn on his Xbox and look and see what's on.
Oh, got you. Okay.
Jay, what I do have a question for you. What stuck out at you when you did go on Disney Plus to watch it?
They have new episodes of Miraculous.
What is Miraculous?
Miraculous Ladybug or Miraculous Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir.
I do know Miraculous Ladybug, but is that what the kids call it? Miraculous? They don't just shorten it all the way down to.
That's what the floating Vespa biker gang calls it.
I mean, Miraculous. Some people say Miraculous. Some say Miraculous Ladybug. Some say the whole title. Some just say Ladybug.
Some just be like MLB.
No one says that.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Me and my people, we all call it MLB. We all call it MLB because we're in the know.
You know what? That did happen. I thought they were talking about baseball, but they were talking about Ladybug.
Listen, you gotta look at the crowd. Obviously,
and I missed something.
What?
I literally just thought we switched to baseball and I missed something.
No, MLB, Miraculous Ladybug.
People call it MLB. What?
Baseball? Like, what's that?
Nobody. In any case,
is that like one of those
new episodes are on
one of those
Disney
sports they play in
Plus.
England?
He's promoting MLB.
So,
Jay, I'm highly disappointed in you for not watching it.
Yes, but
I told you, Jay.
I am caught up on Ladybug.
Look, it must be it's a beautiful life. But I'm just because I watched Naomi while I was driving.
That's a bad idea. You should not have done that.
That must have been horrible.
And he and the thing is, he added it after the fucking late as fuck. Like we said, we agreed on these topics for today. He added it last minute, and by last minute I mean Monday. It doesn't come out till yesterday, and I'm over here driving.
You can't stream it till today.
Exactly. So I had to watch it today.
Well, it was on TV Tuesday. Next day streaming.
Yeah, but I don't have TV. I don't do TV.
What's TV? What, do we not have internet?
Yeah, that's like TV for people who call Magic Ladybug MLB.
TV has commercials.
It's miraculous. Miraculous.
Ladybug. I do call Miraculous Ladybug MLB, and I do have TV. Dang, how do you
exactly? Yeah.
How do you know? How do you know?
We watch. Oh, Jay's got an update.
Yeah, I had to click on my profile, and it's not there. Now it is. But it was like the first thing on it was Eternals.
It's the first thing right there.
The first thing was Eternals.
The second thing down
came
here
out like today.
I'm saying, look, on my screen it said Eternals, and then it said recommended for you, Miraculous World. So it's like,
well, that's because that's true. No, what's Miraculous World?
That's the Miraculous Ladybug movie, the first movie.
Honestly, like the reason I'm disappointed is because Jay is the dude that probably read more side story Star Wars stuff than Larry, specifically before Disney acquisition. And I wanted to see his take because the dude that was a Boba Fett dude that I would call him right now and just say, hey man, I got questions for you, and he'd lay it out. This dude, I lost contact with him 15 years ago. So Rajiv, if you're out there listening to the show, hit me up. That's format because he knew all about the Mandalorian armor, the clone shit before the Phantom Menace and all that shit. So he laid it out for me back then in high school. He was the Boba Fett dude, and I want to hear what.
And I agree with you 100%. Like Jay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So Jay's the closest dude I got to that.
Yeah.
You know, so that's my big disappointment. I mean, yeah, I'll give him the guilt trip with the Naomi thing, but it is what it is. I knew what I was getting into.
I'll watch it.
You're
looks
absolutely
like
right.
It's actually recommending that I watch Hawkeye first. So I'll do Hawkeye and then Boba Fett.
That's how you know Disney Plus sucks. It's no good because Disney Plus is Disney Plus, like Disney Plus should have told him Hawkeye when we were doing the show about Hawkeye.
Wait, listen. Disney Plus is going to make its recommendations based on what Joe watches. So you're gonna be mad at Disney Plus, but what you should be mad at is Joe's like deviant show friggin' choices. That's what you should be mad at, okay? Joe was out here watching Miraculous Ladybug instead of watching Hawkeye or watching friggin' Mandalorian, even though we're talking about both of those throughout the different things or whatever. Like, whatever, Jay. Listen, I'm not mad at you. I'm invested. Watch something different. Huh?
I'm just saying, I'm invested already.
In Miraculous Ladybug?
I think Emily's handling
MLB, baby.
We just got a package in the mail, and I think Emily's handling Oz's package. I don't know.
What?
Yeah.
Oz, did you send your package to Emily?
Never mind.
You cad. You cad. Like, there's no. Listen, that's not even right.
I just send it to that address. Whoever handles it. I mean, I have no control over that. I was the dog. I'm good.
Listen.
Do we have anything else to say about Boba Fett?
Why is the old actor playing the young version?
Wait, say what?
Why is the old actor playing the young version?
Because
wait, when you say the old actor playing the young version, what?
Age-wise,
chronologically, first of all,
like Boba Fett today is playing Boba Fett from like years ago.
Right.
Listen, you have no idea what Boba Fett looks like back then.
Yes, I do. I saw the Clone Wars.
Yeah, he looks like his dad.
He's a clone.
He has hairs. Wait, listen. So what you're trying to say is Jango Fett is what Boba Fett looked like during Star Wars?
Yes.
How do you know?
Because he's an unaltered clone. And he's an unaltered clone. And here's the thing. That's why they got the exact same actor that played him in Attack of the Clones to play him here.
I get it. Lawrence is focusing on the hair aspect.
Right.
I'm focusing on the old ass face that didn't get de-aged at all.
Right.
Like, I don't care if he shaved his head. Dude could have had a mohawk.
What they did is put a bunch of silicone and toilet paper to make it look like he's all scarred up, and that's why he looks like an old man. But really,
listen, why they didn't change it is because they knew that you sons of celibates would be like, what's up with that de-aging technology? How come he doesn't look like he does in the movie?
Why?
And because they would half-ass it, like they half-assed those fucking the first episode.
Look, if you're not gonna de-age the actor, at least don't make the stunt guy in the suit be in way better shape than the actual actor outside the suit.
Yeah,
I'll give you that. I'll give you that 100% because you're right.
Like 20 pounds.
You're right. You're absolutely right. That did happen. I did see that.
Even though I did make fun of him putting on the suit back on in the Mandalorian, and it looked like tiny because he got all fat.
Yeah,
but
he lost weight here.
Yeah, he's in better shape, but he's not in as good a shape as his stunt double.
That's true. And look, that is all facts.
I like that this show does the origin of the cloth suit under the armor, because I really like the leather. Like, that was just a good look. That's part of what made him badass. And now he just has like the shoulder pads and the helmet, like he's gonna go play football, like pee-wee football. And but the origin of the cloth, like, is cool. What else you got to say about this, Larry? I mean, I'm pretty much, the second episode was tight. That was a great episode.
Tiger Claw, no.
What did you guys think of
Tiger Claw wants to know what you guys thought of Black Cranston.
Chrysanthemum.
Right, yeah.
He was cool. I would have I don't know why he didn't give him a job. Like, you don't want to do no killing, hire that dude to do all your killing. Like,
yeah, but he won't even let his assassin advisor assassin stuff.
Right. But at least with this dude, it's like, okay, he's a savage beast. Like, let him do it. Let him do it. Like, even that third episode, man, even like showing up to that mayor's office, and it's like he wants to ride the Rancor, and it's like, all right, show up to the mayor's office in the Rancor. But I guess that's coming later.
What? Yeah, exactly. He can't show up to the mayor's office in the Rancor on day one because he can't break the Rancor in on the first day. But what I'll say to you is this. What I'll say to you is this:
is a giant black Wookiee.
He would have, send the black Wookiee
like Freddie Mercury on Darth Vader.
You have to understand that Boba Fett and friggin' Chrysanthemum have history, and so he's not gonna be like, oh, you're on my team, because he can't trust that dude. That's why he's like, listen, it's either kill him or let him go. And so he let him go. And don't get me wrong, like, I feel where you're coming from, because I get where, like, but I think this is like it's an interesting thing for me to watch, because I feel like, and I don't remember who said it. I think Oz, I think you said it, where you're like, dude, why is this guy so popular? And he's only been like in the Star Wars mythos for the as far as movies go.
5 minutes ago.
I literally just attributed it to you. You didn't hear that?
Yeah, but you weren't sure. You're making it sound like I said that 10 years ago, which I probably did. You're right. Go on.
But that's for the audience. That's for the audience, not for you.
Listen,
we're performing here.
Listen, I'm trying to give you your props here. What I'm saying to you is, like, I agree 100% with what you're talking about, because it's interesting, because in my mind, Boba Fett in a lot of ways is what, like, Boba Fett to Star Wars is what Wolverine was to X-Men, in the sense that people were like, oh man, this guy's so cool. But Wolverine wasn't like the main dude initially, but everyone loved him. And it's okay. Like, I get it. Like, it's like less Wolverine in the same way how less Boba Fett is better. And what's happening right now in the whole Star Wars mythos is the same thing that has happened to Wolverine at this point, I want to say like 20 years ago, where it's like, when you get more Wolverine, you realize, like, oh, that dude's not as cool as you thought he was, because people are like, oh, let's focus on that guy. And so it's like, if you're going to take time to, like, demystify the character, he becomes less cool. And it's like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that they shouldn't make the show, because it's not like, I don't feel like what we've seen has been bad. And I definitely agree, or what I'll say is, while I can agree that the first episode was definitely the weakest one we've seen so far, it's like, I feel like episodes 2 and 3 have been have been better. But it's one of these things where it's kind of like, a part of it is just that people have ideas about what this character should be like. And as somebody actually fleshes the character out, those ideas get dispelled, and people become a little bit less enchanted.
Part of the ideas come from some of the side stories and stuff that we've read in the past.
You said some of the ideas?
Yeah, some of the ideas, like, for example, some of the ideas that I have is the stuff that I've not read personally, but I've heard from somebody that did read the Mandalorian Armor trilogy series, and like, he was mad at George Lucas for a little bit, And again, that's why last week I said it's Disney's Boba Fett, because things that decisions he wouldn't have taken then in, you know, the Lucasverse, like he's taking here, you know.
But
And
I
it's
guess,
fine.
but that's the whole thing.
Once I get past that, it's like episode 2 and 3 are really good.
Well, but I guess what I'm saying to you is this: is that people have an idea what Boba Fett should be like, but realistically, there's nothing that, like, when you're talking about people that have watched the movies, for instance, there's nothing like when you watch the Book of Boba Fett and you watch the Star Wars movies. There's nothing in the Star Wars movies that shows that this guy couldn't be the person that we're seeing in this show. It's just that people's thought processes and the mythos that's grown around the character throughout the years is like, he's this type of person. But when they fleshed out the character, they're like, no, he's actually this kind of person.
The problem with this character is that he's not the Mandalorian. Because when that show first came out, people thought that was like a young Boba Fett. And then you find out,
but that's so different.
Right,
look, the Mandalorian.
I expected Boba Fett to be.
See, and that's the whole thing, right? Because it's like, but we knew that wasn't the case, because if Boba Fett was the same kind of Mandalorian that the Mandalorian was in The Mandalorian, then Jango wouldn't be his dad. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, so it's not like they messed up. It's like the Book of Boba Fett is actually in line with the kind of Mandalorian that Boba Fett would be, but because we saw The Mandalorian, we're like, that's what we think Boba Fett should be like, but that's not in line with what we had seen before The Mandalorian came out. So it's kind of like, if you want Boba Fett to be that kind of Mandalorian, you can want that, but that's not consistent with like the prequel trilogy. So it's like, you know, you're basically mad at something because it didn't fit into what you had in your, like, it didn't fit into your head canon, even though they showed you, it showed you 20 years previously that it wouldn't be that. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, okay, I get it. Like,
they could have made Boba Fett more of a badass. I'm not saying
no, but it's not more of a badass. It's
you just change the Mandalorian's name to Boba Fett in the exact same show and it would work. No, obviously you gotta make story changes to acknowledge his dad and what it went through in his childhood, because that's all different than the Mandalorian. But you still have that swagger of the bounty hunter that the Mandalorian had, especially at the beginning of the first season.
But it doesn't make sense though, because it's
Boba Fett was a bounty hunter. How does it not make sense for him to have that swagger? Yeah, and I'm saying
he's not a bounty hunter anymore.
Yeah, because we're seeing old man Boba Fett. I want to see young Boba Fett in his prime.
Literally, the Mandalorian shows you that Boba Fett's not a bounty hunter anymore. The Mandalorian showed you that,
right? And then because we're getting old Boba Fett, I want young Boba Fett before the movies.
But that's the whole thing where it's like,
that's nothing. Even that's like that Boba Fett was so lame. That era is so lame that they cut it out of every mythology. Like, you don't see stories of Hercules from 12 to 18, you know, like you don't see Jesus. They don't talk about Jesus between 12 to 33. Like you see him at 30 and you see him at 12 and that's it. You know, nobody wants to see the awkward where he's beating off, hiding from his parents.
I kind of
like, are we having a conversation about Jesus masturbating?
All heroes at puberty. That's it. All heroes at puberty. That's what they do. The only one we get to see is now Spider-Man. You know, with Tom Holland shooting his wave all over the place.
Because that's why Teen Titans.
Yeah.
Wow. Listen. Well, all I'm saying to you is this: is that if you want to see like Boba Fett, you know, act like Mando, you're not going to see that because Mando's a different type of Mandalorian than Boba Fett is. You know, it's like literally.
By the time we see
Boba's not even a Mandalorian.
No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say he's not a Mandalorian. He's just a different type of Mandalorian.
Well, he's not,
and that's the whole.
In why is he not? Star Wars universe, he's not.
Why? What makes you feel that?
Because he's a Tusken Raider.
He's not. He's a Tusken Raider and a Mandalorian. You can be both.
No, he wasn't a. No.
Yes, you can. Look, that's how you feel, but that's not what Disney says.
Look, maybe you saw something Disney that I didn't see, and that's possible. But he's not like in Lucasverse. He's not a Mandalorian. He has a Mandalorian armor, but he's not.
No, see, that's it. So that in the so with that logic, you're saying that friggin' oh damn, I can't remember Home Chick's character. But you're basically saying that Home Chick, damn, that was in the Mandalorian show that takes their helmets off. You're saying they're not Mandalorians either. That was in Clone Wars.
That was still Lucasverse.
Are they not Mandalorians?
They decided to keep in that the Lucasverse stuff. That Clone Wars was still the Lucasverse stuff. They try to keep into
what I mean, Mo. But what do you like? You're basically saying what is and what isn't canon. But all the stuff we're talking about right now is all canon.
No, but what I
get that you don't think it's canon, but that doesn't mean
no. I'm not
Disney
saying
all
it's
thinks
not
it's canon.
I'm saying it's Disney canon. There's a whole other stuff.
But Disney canon is canon. Oh, so you're saying you're talking about what's legacy, and you're basically saying like this.
Yeah,
so you're
like
basically saying that the stuff that was canon before Disney.
The Mandalorian Armor trilogy book, and the Boba Fett comics. You know, like that stuff. I mean, they literally tell you the story of how he got out of the Sarlacc pit, and it's not like this.
Yeah, but that's not canon.
Right. It's not canon anymore, is what I'm saying.
So what's the point you're making, I guess?
The point I'm making is that like how you're saying, you know, the Boba Fett you want isn't what you're getting. And it's like, yeah, but we've already seen kind of what it is. So that's like you say, you're the way you phrase it is like, oh, what you think you want. What you based on what you've seen, it's like no, it's based on other things that have come before, and you're just, I mean, true Disney fanboy, you're just, that like ignoring all that, you know, like the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, ignoring all that.
Well, wait a minute now. I mean, keeping in mind that it's not like there's like a whole lot of Boba Fett stories that came before this that were like, oh man, like we have Boba Fett, like we know exactly what this guy's like. There are some
three novels and like 6 comic book series.
Oh, okay, but how? I mean, when you say 6 comic book series, how many comic books are we actually talking about?
About look, I want to say 36. One of them might have been 12 parts, but I'm not 100% sure because I didn't even get to read all of those. So, because
I mean, I'm just saying that it's like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that those don't count because it's ideally. Well, okay. I mean, I'm just saying ideally it's like you want.
That's your boy Mickey.
No.
Hey, how many books do you think there should be before you can accept it as
look, we've had this conversation before.
It's not even about how many books I think there should be.
Well,
it's more
why are you
about
asking
like
the question of how many there were if it doesn't matter.
Well, no, what matters is what do people read and know. It's like if people had understanding of Boba Fett where they were like, oh no, Boba Fett doesn't act like that because we all read these novels, it'd be a different thing. It would be like, Disney, why are you going against the grain here? But it's like, dude, why are you
crapping on my thought of at the point when we see Boba Fett in the movies, he's supposed to be a badass, feared bounty hunter. I want to see how he got there. Why is that silly? Why is that a law? That's your expectation.
Nobody's saying it's silly for you to want a Boba Fett prequel. But you can't expect the Boba Fett current story to be the prequel. It's like, even though they're giving you a little bit of that,
it probably would have been more exciting and better.
Well, you can say that, but that's not what you said. You're like, why isn't current Boba Fett like the prequel? Like, you want a story before the Star Wars movies. And if you want that story, I would watch that too. I would love to see that. How Boba Fett becomes the premier bounty hunter. I would love to watch that joint. But that's not what you asked for. That's not what you said we should get. What you were saying is, why doesn't Boba Fett, after he comes out the Sarlacc pit, act like the feared bounty hunter? And it's like, dude, Boba Fett, after he crawls out the Sarlacc pit, is a different dude. He had a near-death experience, and he's like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. And that makes sense to me, because it's like, when you almost die, you look at your life different, and you're like, you know what? Let me do something. Let me be a different person. Like, that's very human.
Boba Fett, and I got Boba Fett, and I'm not happy about it.
well, listen. If you want old boy to be in better shape, I'm with you on that 100%. And here's the thing, like we have mentioned already, he's in better shape in this show than he was in The Mandalorian. So I guess we got to take what we get in that regard, because it's not like he's not trying. But I don't know how old Tamaru is. I don't know. Like, for all we know, this dude is 65 years old.
Yeah.
He's what?
He's like 50 something.
Yeah, like, I don't know how old he is. Look, the fact that he got in better shape, I'll take it. It would be great if he could get in as in better shape, so him and his stunt double look the same, would be great. But I don't know, man. Look, they wanted to go with this dude, so like they could have went away where they're like, oh, Boba Fett never takes that helmet off, right? Like, we saw that with basically earlier. They could have went that way, but that's not the type of Mandalorian that Boba Fett is, or at least not in this version.
He's 61.
There you go. So listen, when you're in your 60s,
you're like 30.
Yeah, but I'm not an actor in an action show.
But you're in action life.
I don't know what that means, but he's right. So, you know, I guess, and that's the whole. that's the whole thing. All I'm saying is, like I feel like a lot of this has to do with what people's expectations of what Boba Fett was going to be like, and this show is subverting their expectations, because even though it's like, dude, like the things that we had seen up until this point don't, like, it's literally people just imagining what Boba Fett's like.
What you have,
and they've been doing that for this many years, huh?
What you have seen.
Oh, versus like what are you saying, like the comics and the books?
Yeah. Some people have seen a little different, and there's still people.
And listen,
I know you Disney people don't want to count us as
no. See, understand. Listen, I get it 100% because I'm a Guardians of the Galaxy fan, and that's exactly what this is. The same thing that happened with Guardians for me, where it's like I read the comic, and I'm like, these people that are on the screen aren't what the Guardians of the Galaxy are like. But everybody else was like, "Nah, we like this," and it's like, "Okay, I get it." Like
everybody else isn't like
me and only
for Boba Fett. Like people aren't. Yeah, like that's a whole other discussion.
No, but that's the whole point I'm making. Is the difference is the people that don't like what they're seeing with Boba Fett are the people that haven't read the books and they haven't read the comics, but because of what they think Boba Fett is like from the movies, they're like, nah, he's not like this. And it's like, based on what? Based on what you were like imagining? That's not valid. That's all I'm saying is if it was a thing where you're like, no, I read the books and I read the comics and Boba Fett acts like this. It's like, okay, I could totally understand that argument. Like Joe is that kind of dude. Joe hasn't read or hasn't watched Book of Boba Fett yet. He's nothing that he has seen or heard has made him interested in watching it yet. And Jay's a dude that read the novels. I don't know if Joe's read Boba Fett comics, but the novels are enough where it's like, if he's like, I'm kind of iffy on it. Like, I get it. I get that. Because Joe's that dude. He's like me with Guardians. But that's a minority. And I'm just accepting that. Like, I accepted that with the first movie. I accepted it with the second movie. I'm going to accept it again when the third movie comes out, and everyone loves that joint too, even though it's probably going to be even more garbage than the first two. But
James Gunn said it's not going to be what you think it is.
They're also in the next one.
It's not going to be what they think it is. It's definitely going to be what I think it is. Garbage. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like I know what Guardians is supposed to be like.
What if he actually made it like it's supposed to be like, and everybody thinks it's garbage, and that's what he's referring
to? Why would James Gunn do that all of a sudden?
Because he's wacky like that.
Why would that happen?
He liked our review of the Suicide Squad.
No, man. Listen, no. James Gunn is gonna do what James Gunn's gonna do, and trust me. What I know is this: Adam Strange is gonna be in that joint, and I'm sorry, Adam Strange. I'm sorry, Adam Warlock's gonna be in that joint. Right? No, Adam Warlock's gonna be in that joint, and because again, I've read a lot of Adam Warlock stuff. I'm gonna be like, oh, that's 100% not Adam Warlock.
And at this point, why even bother, right? Like,
well, I bother because I can have an informed opinion.
Why bother putting him in the movies at this point?
It doesn't make sense to me, because it's like, in my mind, it's like, if you're gonna have an Infinity like Gauntlet movie adaptation, how do you do an Infinity Gauntlet movie adaptation without Adam Warlock? And they showed us, and it was interesting. Like, I liked it. I can't deny it. I liked it. But I'm like, if you're gonna bring Adam Warlock in at this point, it's like the most interesting thing Adam Warlock's ever done was be involved in Infinity Gauntlet.
The closest.
So it's like, so what are we doing
with Vision? Right, with the Mind Stone.
I mean, technically speaking, in a lot of ways, the role that Vision played is the role that Adam Warlock should have played.
Yeah.
Because Thanos should have gone through Adam Warlock to get the Mind Stone, but that's not how it worked out.
Stone?
So it's like, oh,
the Soul Stone.
I'm sorry, the Soul Stone. The Soul Stone.
Yeah, you should know that better than I know that.
Yeah, fake ass Larry.
Yeah. Joe, I misspoke for a moment. Jim. Give me a break. Look, it's not. Listen, Vision didn't have the Soul Stone.
I know he had the Mind Stone. Adam Warlock has the Soul Stone.
Yeah, no, I know that, but it's like, dude, listen, MCU has messed the whole thing up. They messed the whole thing up.
Look, finally.
I mean, they messed it up when they made it so that no one could touch the gems. That was dumb.
It's only the time when you can't touch.
No, it's like all of them. Like,
he literally holds the power one, and when he puts it on, like, he's actually touching it.
No, but everybody else, like,
right?
They have to have it in that ball. That's why it's in the cosmic cube, you know?
Right. It's like, how they're supposed to wear them on their forehead if it'll kill them.
Anyway, all I'm saying is this: is
that all of them though? Because it's all of just a power one.
Pip keeps his between his toes. So, but again, it's like, if it's in a cube or something, it's like,
that's where the needle goes.
Pip's in MCU.
Yeah, but the gem can't fit between his toes because it's in a box.
You haven't seen his feet.
I think we did see his feet in Eternals, which is on Disney Plus right now, right?
I have to watch that.
Spoilers. Yeah. Sorry. Spoilers. If you haven't watched Eternals, go watch it.
Oh yeah, I need to rewatch it so I can see that part I missed when I went to the bathroom.
Don't. Okay. So with that being said, we should just rate the Book of Boba Fett. Let's just do that. Jay, give us your uninformed rating of the Book of Boba Fett.
I would give it question mark out of 5.
Ellipsis out of 5.
Look, I appreciate that, Jay. That's very valiant of you. Like Oz would have totally given it a 2.
I took a number 2.
Oh, jeez. Oz, what would you rate the Book of Boba Fett?
What are you doing? Out of 5?
Yeah,
I guess
Oz, like we always do, Oz.
I guess
okay.
We don't always do out of 5.
Do we not? What else do we do, Oz? Do we do out of 10? Out of 100? Like, what are we doing, Oz?
We do out of whatever the hell I want to do. How about that? Well, I tell you my scale. I got my ruler, and you
still got
bring yours. I bring mine. We'll see who's bigger.
We still got 2 other topics, so hurry it up.
But let's wait a few months because it's cold. 3. I'm not gonna say it's horrible, but it's not great. That's
after
average.
1 episode.
That's after just the first episode. Apparently, the second episode is longer, but then it loses that girth by the third one. So
it's cold.
It is cold. Remember.
All right, Moses Magnum. What would you rate the Book of Boba Fett?
As much as I trash it, it's still an enjoyable experience. I'm enjoying the story they're telling. I'm enjoying the execution. You know, as hard as I was on the first episode, the second one makes up for it. And even like the first episode, there was a scene, and I don't even remember what the scene was, but it was a prolonged sequence of about 5 minutes. And I know Liz and I were watching it, and we're drinking beer. And for that whole time, we didn't take a swig at all. Our eyes were glued to the screen. And then right when it ended, we both simultaneously took a swig. And I told her, that's how you know it's a pretty good show, because we literally paused our drinking while we were watching it. So, and that's the episode. That's the episode I didn't like. So, the second one was miles better than the first episode. And the third one was pretty good, even with like the hokey shit with the Vespa dudes. It's still pretty cool. Like I want to see how all this plays out, and I wish they would have, the organized crime aspect needs to be fleshed out. It's not that organized, and him being the different guy on the outside. That I want to see a little more Michael Corleone, a little more Breaking Bad type shit. That's the model they should have gone for, instead of the model they're focusing on is the Dances Wolves part with him and the Tusken Raiders, instead of the crime drama, the gritty crime drama. Look, they could have just remade Yellowstone and Tatooine, and it would have been amazing with Boba Fett. But we don't do a TV show, so we haven't talked about Yellowstone.
I hear good things about it.
Oh yeah, it's great. Like, there's a better Boba Fett in it than the main Boba Fett. Like, the dude that's like the Boba Fett type on Yellowstone is fucking badass. Like, I was gonna be him for Halloween, and all I really need is a cowboy hat. I already dressed like him.
Well, damn. Is it
so
black?
4 out of 5 for me. Huh? Yeah, it's a black cowboy hat. The fuck? Okay. What do you think? It's cream colored?
Yeah, I was just about to ask you. I was like, is it cream colored, Moses?
No, this is black cowboy.
Got it. You know what? I'm enjoying the Book of Boba Fett myself. I will say that the first episode isn't the best episode by far. Like, each episode so far has been better, which I guess is a good thing, because I agree. Episode 2 was actually really, really good. Episode 3 is good. So maybe I guess technically episode 3 is not as good as the second one, but it's still really a good episode of Star Wars stuff to me. So you know what? I think I gotta give it like a 3.75. I enjoyed it. I think the show ultimately is going to be great. But what I can 100% acknowledge is, based on what Oz was saying before, is I think a lot of people thought what we got in The Mandalorian was what Boba Fett would be like. And it turns out that that's not the case. Boba Fett different character than the Mandalorian. And despite us thinking like that was the kind of person that Boba Fett would be, it turns out he's a different dude. And what we're getting in the Book of Boba Fett is a completely different kind of story. And so, you know, for better or for worse, this version of Boba Fett is not the Mandalorian. And so, you know, but the Mandalorian, like, I don't even have to, like, I don't think anybody here would argue that the Mandalorian is an equally good or a lesser show than the Book of Boba Fett. Book of Boba Fett's not as good as the Mandalorian. So for that there, you know, I got to give it like 3.75. The end. All right. Let's do some comic book review stuff. Let's talk about Swamp Thing.
Let's get Naomi out of the way. That way I can go.
You sure?
Yeah, because we already played the TV theme. So what I got to play? We got to play the comic theme and then the TV
fair.
theme.
I you know what? I hear what you're saying, and that makes sense to me because you're right. We'd have to play the TV theme again, and God forbid that happens. Even though it's amazing. You can go what?
I can go grab a beer.
Okay, so let's. Oh wait, why is he grabbing the beer now? Naomi. Okay. Oh, did Mo not watch Naomi? Is that what happened?
Sounds like
he watched it in the car.
Oh, right. Right. Okay. So, Jay, do you want to tell us about Naomi in regards to what it is as a show?
Okay. So Naomi's about a girl that she's super popular, skateboards, everyone loves her. She wears glasses even though she doesn't need them. She's obsessed with Superman, like the comic. Like she blogs about the comic book.
Kind of like us.
And then she starts like passing out. She starts passing out, and then her friends go and investigate this evil car salesman, and then she like finds a disc in the woods, and the evil car salesman like takes it from her, and then she goes to this tattoo artist, and he's like, he has wings. And that's Naomi number 1.
I really want to be like, Jay, what? Like, stop it. Why are you being so hard on this? But I can't even disagree with any statement you just made. Like, not even one of them. I'm like, damn, that's what it was. that's what it was. Like, okay. Oz, did you watch Naomi, the first episode of Naomi?
No, it was just available to stream today. I didn't have time.
Oh, okay.
Which is an opportunity because I've seen the comic in the shelves and I've always walked right past it. Sometimes I'll stop, turn, look at it, spit, and then keep walking. This is the.
Why did you do all that? Why wouldn't you read Naomi number 1?
Didn't look interesting.
Damn. What I heard was it's pretty
this is
black.
An opportunity.
That's what I heard. It's pretty
an
black.
Opportunity for you guys to tell me why I should be reading Naomi.
Oh, jeez, man.
Look,
Golly, man.
I saw the cover for number 1, and I thought like it was the bootleg Alias. Like she looks like she's solving a crime, like with that crime board and the red string.
Let me ask you this question, Jay. Jay,
I didn't even know she had powers, by the way, until more recently when the TV show was about to come out.
Jay, have you read the Naomi comics? Any of them?
Yeah, I read the first story arc.
Okay, so you read like the limited series Naomi, like the Naomi, like you read like it was what 6 issues, right?
Yeah.
Was it only 6?
Thanks. Something like that. I feel like I'm pretty certain it was like
Like, I know I own 9 of them. I own 9 issues.
Oh.
And
of Naomi?
Yeah.
No way.
9? Wait, I have to double check.
Are there 9? You should definitely double check. Mo.
But I know
have you?
I know I have the first arc.
Okay. Mo, you watched Naomi in the car.
Yeah.
What?
Hold on, my light decided.
Listen, now I know that you didn't get to hear Jay's introduction to the show. However, it was a hodgepodge of random events,
right?
That actually ended up being exactly what the show actually was.
The show is a hodgepodge of random events that lead to nothing except for her deciding to figure out who she is, which every relationship she has with people in the show should let her know that her whole life she's been questioning who she is, whether it's her sexual identity, her attraction. She doesn't know who she is. She's a 16-year-old girl, and everything on the outside is telling her that, and everything in her inner circle is telling her that, and it leads to nothing. The first issue leads to nothing. First episode leads to nothing, and in that, I haven't read the comics, but with that, I am thankful for Ava DuVernay to be very, very faithful to the comics, because that's what Brian Michael Bendis does on first issues. Nothing.
Brian Michael Bendis has a lot more. More.
You're giving him too many credit. Too much, you're giving.
Naomi was just embarrassing. It was so pandering and so generic.
In the first issue of Naomi, did you know she had powers?
No.
Exactly. This did more than the first issue. This did more than the first issue.
No, but yes,
powers.
No, but and look, I get where Mo's coming from here, because and here's the whole thing with Naomi, where it feels like this is one of these things where you're like, okay, this is what happens when you try to adapt a comic into a TV show, because in a TV show, you need to let people know that you need to stick around because there's more happening here than you might see initially. And in a comic book, you can write it in such a way where you kind of have a little bit of intrigue, but you don't need to let people know oh, this is what's happening yet, because you can give them a hook that isn't about powers, because realistically speaking, when we're talking about a comic book audience, it's everything's about powers. So the fact that you don't know whether she has powers or not, or who she is almost more intriguing than whether she has powers or not. You know what I mean? It's literally the difference between one medium versus the other, because in television, it's no. People don't have superpowers in television necessarily. So you got to show them they have superpowers. So you're no, stick around because something's happening. But in comics, you're well, everyone has superpowers, right? So is this person a super person or not? And that becomes the bit of intrigue, which is kind of crazy.
Look, you say that, but every Miles Morales #1, nothing happened. He just talked to his dad. Miles Morales #2, we just talked to his dad and his mom. And that's exactly that's his style. We literally watched. So, and that, to me, this episode feels like his style. They adapted the best way they could for TV, his style.
But you can't. He
has a lot more dignity than the show.
No, you just don't like it. You're reviewing it based on taste, not on execution.
No, I disagree, because it's the reality of the situation is that, especially if you had read Naomi #1, it's you would realize that Naomi, you weren't certain by any means that she was going to be somebody that ended up being special. And I'm saying that like basically based off of like I read Naomi #1 not when it came out, but like after the fact when I was like, I already know Naomi has powers. But when I read issue 1, I was like, I don't know. Like it made me kind of be like, I don't know. Maybe she doesn't have powers. You know, even though I know she has powers because of the way that Bendis writes it. And it's like one of those things where it's kind of like, okay, I guess she's going to end up with powers, but how's that going to happen? But this show is like, I don't know, man.
I mean, what do you expect? Like, it's CW.
No, like and I think that's no, I agree with you. Like, it is CW, and that's the downfall of it. Because in my mind, I was like, okay, I know Ava DuVernay is a part of this, and I know like her pedigree. So I'm like, well, maybe Ava DuVernay was like, no, let's do it a little different. But in a lot of ways, I guess be like, oh no, she definitely like was 100% like, okay, if this is how you normally do shows, I guess I'll just like conform. You know, because
how the fuck does she skateboard?
Well, look, she skateboards in the comic.
I was expecting that question from Larry, because Larry hates skateboarding heroes. Larry hates black heroes. Larry hates female characters. I can see why he would hate.
What? All that is false.
No, it's not. You've always complained. You know, you didn't like Black Lightning at first when we talked about the comics. You didn't like. You don't like Night Thrasher. He skateboards, and he's black.
Wait, first of all, Night Thrasher.
And I think Naomi wore a hoodie. I think Naomi wore a hoodie in one of the scenes, and I know you don't like hoodies either.
Wait, listen, all that's false. Night Thrasher.
Joe knows this.
Night Thrasher.
He hated the Scarlet Spider because he had a hoodie over his costume. He doesn't like Night Thrasher.
Night Thrasher and his skateboarding is a whole different thing than.
Even though he saved the entire Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Who are we talking about? Night Thrasher or Scarlet Spider?
Night Thrasher saved the Marvel universe.
He was on a
listen, Night Thrasher skateboarding in the 90s is a whole different thing than Naomi skateboarding in the late.
No, the 90s when everybody was skateboarding.
Yeah, you're telling me, man, she's wearing Nikes on a skateboard. Like, you used to get beat up for that back in the 90s.
Because you gotta wear
bands. The 90s.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's different. It's different. I'm agreeing.
Naomi in the comic book was a skateboarder. So why am I going to be mad at her for skate? No, I did not hate her. Like, listen, a black woman skateboarding in.
I know she doesn't skateboard in the first issue.
What's that have to do with the entire series?
That's all he read after he bought 9 issues.
Even though the first.
No, I think maybe it is just 6. I know I read the whole thing. I don't recall her skateboarding.
She had other appearances in like Young Justice and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, she was in Metal.
She appeared in a lot of other stuff, but she skateboards in Naomi. Like she skateboards, so
I'm gonna reread it because it's so much better than the show. Like
I would agree with that.
I swear, I thought ironically enough, Renee had some talent, but apparently,
did you watch the Wrinkle in Time?
No, that was creepy. That was
so we're gonna be
giant Oprah. Like I can't do. I'll watch the old Wrinkle in Time movie.
There's an old Wrinkle in Time?
Yes.
It's animated, right?
Yes.
Can you send it to me?
Yeah.
I will try.
Just like the wiki link. Like
I didn't have much hope for this show because it's a CW show and CW has progressively gotten worse.
But you love it.
With every new hero show that they put on, it
listen,
just gets
no,
worse and worse. It's so bad that
you watch Stargirl.
That wasn't a CW show. That was
how dare
the
you.
app it is. That was
the
HBO.
first season.
How
The first season
dare
was
you.
DC Universe.
I will say this is a lot better than Stargirl. At least the character is not annoying. Like the character is, she's not Naomi, but she's fine. The real Naomi is a lot smarter, a lot more like grounded. She's not like a superstar person.
Wait, is the
like,
person in this a superstar?
Yeah, she's like
Everybody
she just
loves
skates
her.
by and like everyone's waving at her and like
Except
I don't know how she
Harry.
feels. Like I don't know how she feels alienated or like there's something missing from her because everyone fucking loves her.
Like the party scene.
It's
the party scene.
It is ridiculous.
Emily was like, she looked up. She's like, "What are you watching? What the fuck is?" It's a dude with a fade and a design going like, and she's like, "What are you watching?" And like, it's a superhero show. Is it?
It's a CW show.
Right.
Right.
Is it though?
I'm like, I go. I'm watching this because Joe made me watch it, and we were watching Boba Fett, and I know he read Swamp Thing, so yeah. You read Swamp Thing, right?
Yeah, that was my whole plan, to come home today and read Swamp Thing and watch Naomi, and I forgot about Boba Fett.
It would have been more awesome if you didn't read it, based on not watching Boba Fett too.
You know, honestly,
Naomi, that shit would be hilarious.
I don't want to get into Swamp Thing yet because we are going to talk about it, but I will say it would be a travesty. Did I say that? Tragedy. It would have been a travesty if I had not read it.
A tragedy.
Yeah. Anyway, it's so weird. It's like the Naomi comic is a mystery comic. It's not a superhero comic. It's a mystery comic about this girl. She's investigating a happening in her town. Like, basically, it starts off with Superman and Mongol having a fight and like landing in their town for like a couple seconds before the fight moves elsewhere. And you know, she's like a huge Superman fan, and she's like trying to figure out what, like, get all the info on what happened because she missed it. And Superman comes back the next day, and everyone is like, "Oh wow!" Like, he came back to help clean up, and like she's like going nuts about it. And over the course of this town, they're saying like, "Man, this is the first time anything like this has ever happened. Like that a superhero has come to this town." And then one person mentions, "Oh no, it's just happened before." And so, like, she's like a superhero nerd. So she's trying to figure out what other event happened in her town. And she found out that there was an incident on the day that she was adopted by her parents. And so it kind of goes into this whole mystery thing of her trying to figure out who she is and what the event was that happened on that day. And your first arc is basically about that. It's not about her having powers, even though at the end of the arc, you find out that, and this is spoilers for the comic and for the show, maybe. I don't know what they're going to do with the show. Who the fuck knows? They're going in such a random bullshit. But basically, at the end of the first arc in the comic, you find out that she was taken from her another dimension and placed on Earth to hide her from the overlord of her dimension. And so she, you know, her powers start awakening, and she does go back to her dimension to fight that guy who was responsible for her parents' death. And she does that, and then she ends up she deals with him, and then she comes back to Earth and starts hanging out with Young Justice. So the first, it's more of a mystery. Like the first arc is mostly just a mystery of her trying to solve the question of who she is and what happened the day she was adopted. It's a WB show, so
CW
or CW, yeah. So
Same
they
thing.
went
Same
in this
thing.
weird direction. But I think the oddest thing about the show is that there is no Superman. Superman is a comic book.
Well, there's no Superman in CW, so.
Well, Superman and Lois, right?
That's the joke.
No, but
look, it doesn't matter.
No, but in the universe that
in the comic, there's a Superman.
Yeah,
and it doesn't make sense.
They make that
there's no Superman.
They make a point in this show that Superman doesn't exist, that he's a comic book character, and then Superman and Mongol show up to fight, and then
it was a blue guy.
No, I think it was Mongol though.
Mongol's yellow,
right? But his costume was blue. His costume was blue, and he had the red balls. Like I froze it, and I couldn't tell it's Mongol, but when I read that it's Mongol in the comic, and I'm like, okay, that design might be that's a CW design for Mongol. It could be Brainiac.
That would be crazy. That would be crazy.
I will say it is just a super odd choice that there's no Superman.
Yeah,
and it's what makes it even odder. What makes it even odder is the emphasis they put on the Superman blog, and the fact that no other hero is mentioned. So it almost like if you were to say this is a world that doesn't have superheroes, that would track with everything we've seen. Like there's no mention
that's
of
what it is.
actual heroes.
But we have Superman and a blue guy. I thought it was Parasite.
No.
But
that's what the show sets up, that this is a world without superheroes, and the superheroes are a fictional thing. That's why they're like the guy is like literally like
fictional. It says
all
Superman
of them are
is fictional. They don't say that though. They say Superman.
They don't say it. Well, no, and I'll give you that. You're right. They don't say it outright, but I guess basically more than anything is the way that the guy refers to Superman as a comic book hero. That makes it feel like there's no such thing as a superhero. And even when you look at the preview, the preview for the next episode is like, do you have superpowers? They're like saying it like this is the whole thing. Like, I know for me, I was watching this show like, why do they have the girl in the comic book store? And like, why is this a thing? Which, it's a character they add in the same way that they add all these other characters. Like, there's a whole which is a wild thing to me too, because like the whole like bisexual angle, I don't have a problem with her being bisexual.
Pansexual.
But I have a problem. Huh?
She's pansexual.
Why is she
doesn't know
pansexual?
that yet?
Because she likes the girl from the comic book store. She likes the guy with the really deep voice, like, Superman ain't real, right? That guy. And then she likes that nerdy gay guy.
He's not gay, is he?
That's also not what pansexual means.
What?
Right. I mean, I'm just like, she's bisexual. She likes guys and girls.
Yeah, but that
pansexual is when you like more than guys and girls.
Or guys and girls has nothing to do with what you're attracted to. Right? Like, it's like that's beyond men and women.
No, that's like that's depends on what country you're in. It's illegal.
I'm not talking about animals. I'm just talking about like it's beyond gender.
There's a Thanagarian on this show.
Yeah.
Yes.
But But he's like a
bionic. What did you think when I said the guy had wings? Like, were you thinking it was an angel? Like,
well, here's the thing: like his wings are metal.
Well, he's Archangel.
Like his wings are metal, so it's like you don't think Thanagarian when the wings are metal, right?
But here's the whole thing. Here's the whole thing. Well, you thought that because you read the comic, but here's the whole thing. The whole thing is like the way that they're setting this whole thing up is like superheroes don't exist in this world. And so the only superheroes or the only thing people know about superheroes is what they read in comic books. Like, hence why the guy, like there's literally a character that refers to Superman as a comic book hero. And when they have like the thing that happens in the show, like in the comic book, they're like, oh my God, our small town had a Superman battle in it. And they're like, man, Superman's this amazing hero that fought in our town, and that's never happened before. And then somebody, like Joe mentioned, somebody's like, oh no, actually, well, I think that something like that did happen once before a long time ago. But in the show, they're like, there was a thing that was like a Superman thing that happened, and somebody did like some kind of like stunt that, like, the way they're talking about it, it's like some sort of publicity thing to promote Superman. Like somebody did something that's like, like, oh, like in the same way how in our world, if somebody was like, oh man, like there are all these webs everywhere, and it was like a Spider-Man thing, and everybody knows Spider-Man's not a real thing, but I went downtown and there were webs everywhere, and it was crazy. You know what I mean? They treat it, they literally say the word stunt.
Also, this Naomi is actually a lot dumber than the one in the comic. The one in the comic would never just take the first answer she got, the first ridiculous answer she got, and just call it a quits. Like, she would have kept investigating. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, I get what Lawrence is saying, but it could be both ways. Like, yeah, they refer to Superman as a comic book, but they don't explicitly say, like, you could have a Flash and not have a Superman. And Superman could be a comic book hero, but you do have a Flash.
Which you had for several years on the CW.
So, like, for me, it could go either way.
But why would that be the case? Why would that be the case when we have a Superman in the same universe as the Flash?
And not only that, in the comic book store, they show Flash comics, so it's all comics. Like, it's almost like she's in our world, and Superman somehow showed up there through some breach or boom tube. Maybe he was fighting Darkseid through a boom tube. I don't know.
Or some kind of crisis.
Yeah.
Or point of Flash.
It could have been like they punched the wall of reality in one of the old crossovers, and one of the windows they went through was this one, and then they went out. Yeah.
All right, so don't forget, Superman and Supergirl didn't exist in the Flash universe until they had that event, and then suddenly the worlds merged and they did exist. They didn't know each other exists in the same universe. The Flash and Supergirl went after the same villain, looking at each other like, oh, hey, how'd you get to my universe? Oh, wait, we're in the same universe now. Oh no. Hey, there's Black Lightning. Black Lightning sitting there like, wait, Superman's real? I mean, this stuff happens.
In CW. In Berlantiverse.
In the CW.
I think Mo made a really good point that he just said. This show is bad.
Yeah, it's like we don't need to spend more than a half hour on it, right? Like, I thought it was bad, but I thought it was bad because I don't know. Like, I'm an old fart. Like, I don't care about black pansexual teens that may or may not have powers, and they didn't do it in a compelling way that I want to see it through. You know, I'm a white cis male.
Honestly, like this has nothing to do about black pansexual
right
teens.
But I thought that's why I didn't like it, but it turns out it's not because of that.
No, it doesn't. Because
is it Batwoman bad, or is it better than Batwoman?
It's on Batwoman level. Like I don't want to watch anything. I don't want to watch anything CW at all until now that I watched Naomi, because CW app promoted Rivervale to me. And
Superman and Lois season 2 also just came out.
Yeah, but I can watch that on HBO.
Superman
Max.
and Lois is that's a good show.
Yeah, but that's on HBO Max. Like I can watch that there. Like I don't need CW for that. You know.
Got it.
For Rivervale, I need to.
The what is Rivervale?
They had some sort of crisis and the universes merged. So you got it's a whole horror season. So you got the Jughead hunger like shit going on. Or it seems from the descriptions, from the way they promoted.
Is that the one Sabrina's showing up in as a cameo?
Yeah, Sabrina's in it, and
is Vampironica
there? A TV show?
Yeah, so that's
is Vampironica there?
I think that's why the V is there, because it's a Vampironica thing. Instead of Riverdale, it's Rivervale, because the universe got it's a new 52 Archie.
So I need to watch this season.
Look, you on CW app, you got the first 5 episodes. If you don't like it past the first 5, don't watch it. But I'm gonna watch the first 5.
Can I buy it on Amazon?
Look, I'd rather you didn't. I'd rather you take those $2.99 per episode and just flush them down the toilet. Like,
how about you watch an episode or two?
Just watch it. Watch it on CW app for free. Oh, good.
First thing, that's not how I do things. I buy first, and then I live with the consequences. I bought the first season of Naomi.
Joe,
I hate it, and I'm gonna watch it because I already paid for it. And number 2, I hate the CW app. Yeah. It is the most intuitive. I feel like if it could spit in my face, it would. Like
I think
that's how much it hates people that use it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like when I'm watching Batwoman on it, it does spit in my face.
Allow me to say this real quick. Let me just say this real quick. I feel like if any of you here, which I mean, Jay, you've read the first arc of Naomi, and I feel like you, both Oz and Moses, if you read the first 6-issue arc of Naomi, you would be like, actually, this is an interesting hero. Now, don't get me wrong. No. Honestly, I do feel that because it's.
No, you can feel that, but that's not what's going to happen. Because I'm not a Bendis fan like that. Like I don't like.
Here's the thing.
I don't like the way he.
But listen to what I'm about to say to you.
Yeah.
Like we understand that Bendis does like the drawn out, deconstructed kind of thing, right? But Naomi isn't typical Bendis in the sense that the type of stuff that would normally happen in like 12 issues of Bendis happens in 6 issues here. And so it's like literally like DC editorial, I'm assuming, kind of like, hey, we know what you do and we like what you do. However, we don't know if people are going to buy this joint or buy into it for 12 issues. So we need you to do it in half the time. And Bendis complies.
Was that DC?
You don't feel like
Wonder Comics is his.
It's DC.
Like,
it's his. That was his his contract with DC. It's like, oh, you get to do your own thing here with us.
Okay.
Yeah, Wonder Comics is his imprint.
Right.
Okay. But if what you're saying to me,
here's the thing: there's no DC imprints anymore. It's all under DC editorial, especially if they want to bring it into the main universe. You know, Like your Black Label is like that's like Vertigo, but it's not Vertigo.
Right.
You know, you can't make creator own shit. You can't make creator own shit on DC. Period. So even if he
here's
had
the whole thing.
Wonder Comics, like it's not his thing. Like editorial would have something to say there.
Well, but you're right, and that's the point I'm making in the sense like Black Label is the closest thing you get to no mandates from DC editorial because Black Label is definitely absolutely it is because
what Larry said as close as you get, like it's still mandated. It's just as close as you get to no mandate.
It's so
what I'm saying to you,
I fucking hate Black Label.
No, but no.
Well, you can hate it, but what I'm saying to you is this, Jay, is that the stuff that happens in DC Black Label isn't canon. Like it's not like stuff that like you can tell a Black Label story and nobody's worried about continuity.
Yeah.
And that's the point where it's like you can tell whatever story you want under Black Label. Now, Naomi is not that. Naomi is continuity. Like Naomi exists within the DC universe, and I mean you can shake your head, but we know that's the truth because
I have a Mo deal
the same character that we saw.
I have a Mo deal that'll shake Joe's head in the opposite direction.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means.
Joe's hard-headed. Joe's hard-headed. He's not going to shake his head in the opposite direction. It's like what we know is that, like Jay already said it. The same character we saw in that miniseries is the same character that showed up in Teen Titans and showed up in
Justice League.
Young Justice. She wasn't in Teen Titans.
In Justice League.
Whatever, Jay. Look, what I'm saying to you is she shows up in continuity. Continuity is the whole point.
I'm so tired of you disrespecting Black heroes. It's like
I was right.
Like, get her history correct. Get her history straight. Like, I swear, it's like you have a young Black female hero, and all Lawrence wants to do is just like spread falsehoods and like about her.
All I'm saying is she shows up in continuity, which is the important part.
Jay, I might go into a tangent right now. Jay, I know you got to go to work in the morning at 4 a.m. You could dip out at 9 if you want, but. I read an article today about Chuck Dixon complaining about race swapping and shit. And one of the things was like, if you're going to make Black characters, they should be made by Black people, essentially. You know, he didn't use the term, he used African American because, you know, that's what racists do. And so here we have this show that's that, and it's not good. I'm like, you know what? Maybe if Chuck Dixon would have wrote this, or Brian Bendis would have wrote this show, like it would have been a better show, even though it's a Black female character.
It's ironic though, because
I didn't read this article, so I don't know for certain.
Right.
But it sounds like Chuck Dixon is full of shit.
Well, look, the article is on our YouTube, Facebook group page. I put it on there. I didn't send it into the pre-production text because I know that triggers Oz and Larry, and then we all fight instead of do productive things for productive text.
Did you tweet it?
No, I didn't tweet it because I'm not on Twitter like that. But I should be.
I know I'm on Twitter.
All right, well,
way more than I should be.
I'll send it to you. I'll do the pre-production. I'll send it into the pre-production text after the show. The reason I didn't do it in the pre-production because it turns into a whole topic. Like we even had comments in that group. And it's a topic of conversation because the way he puts it out is essentially it's a thought out, like it's a methodical way of looking at these diverse characters in mainstream media and multimedia. And it's like, well, why don't they make good Black characters? Is one of his answers, you know, paraphrasing, of course. And it's like, you know, there's a lot of times when there was a lot of people making Black characters and they just weren't cool characters. Like, you know what I mean? And they revamped them. And Larry, come on. You didn't like Black Lightning when Black Lightning came out on the comics?
What does that have to do with anything?
No, that's what I'm saying. That there's a time when people were making Black comic book characters and the Black comic book characters weren't that cool.
Look, whether I like it or not doesn't have anything to do with whether the character is cool or not.
No, but you know, the original Black Lightning wasn't that cool. Like you said it yourself. Like we have you on record saying that.
I literally said not that long ago, like, if you're gonna put a black character on the Justice League, Black Lightning is the character that you should put on there.
But that's not what you said.
Like, say, a cyborg.
That's not what you said 10 years ago.
No, but 10 years ago, no one was even talking about putting a black character on the Justice League because that was crazy talk.
But again, look, that's your mentality. Your mentality, you kept that from. Again,
that's not my mentality. That's the whole world's mentality.
Look, it's not. It starts within the self, Larry. And again, that's why I didn't want to
That's why I didn't
want to do this, because it's a whole topic of conversation. Maybe for next week we'll do something. I don't know. But read the Chuck Dixon article.
It's not on me.
But that's the thing. It's like this show. It's like, there's a black character that's interesting and cool, and then they adapt it. They don't have to race swap anything, and it's still not. The shit they give you is not good. Is the point I'm trying to make.
The point you're making though is that that's about what CW does. Like, that's about Berlanti's.
Right,
Berlanti's,
they feel they're reacting to the thought process. They have the same thought process as Chuck Dixon has on the opposite side of the spectrum. It's like, oh, we need Ava DuVernay on this. It's like, nah. Let's get Vince Gilligan. Let's get Vince Gilligan to make Naomi.
I'll say this. I feel like if Ava DuVernay left her own devices, doesn't make the exact same show that we saw.
Look, I think Ava DuVernay doing Naomi is not what Bendis what made, and I don't think she would follow the comic. I think she'd recreate it. You have two creatives battling for the name on the marquee, and it's not a race thing; it's a narcissism thing. You want to put your stamp on.
No, but see, I don't. Nah, but look, and don't get me wrong. I agree with what you're saying.
Like,
I agree with what you're saying in the sense that, huh?
No, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I agree with what you're saying in the sense that Ava DuVernay definitely wants to put her own stamp on things. But I'm not gonna Bendis isn't involved in Naomi at all, and that was like a story that came out. Like,
yeah, he is.
He's got producer credit.
It doesn't. He has a producer credit as a honorific thing, but not as he has no creative input. And that was the thing that was the story that came out in the last 2 weeks, because he's like, I have creative input on. He's doing what, Legion of Superheroes? I think a Legion of Superheroes TV show or something like that. One of these shows. I don't remember which one it is. I think it is Legion of Superheroes.
What channel is that?
People are like, I don't know. But what I'm saying is,
I hope it's on Paramount Plus.
People are like, oh, but you're working on Naomi, right? And they're like, he's like, no. The way it turned out was I have no creative input on Naomi, despite the fact that I created the character. But I'm doing this other show on DC, or for well, I don't think it's CW. I don't know, but it might be Paramount. I don't know. But the fact is, the character that he didn't create, or the characters he didn't create, he has creative input on. But the one that he did create, he has no creative input on. And that's the whole point. Where it's like, if Bendis was involved with Naomi, obviously it would come out a little bit different, because Bendis would be like, no, let's do it like this. There's a lot of small changes that happen.
So which is it? Is it Ava DuVernay being hindered? Is it Brian Bendis not being involved? You told me two different things here.
Is DMZ going to be both. Good?
DMZ.
Listen. Let me answer all these questions real quick. Right, Joe. As far as DMZ, that's not related to this conversation, and I don't know. That's one.
Oh, but it is.
Mo.
Why?
It is related, because it's directed by Ava DuVernay. So if she fucked up the Naomi,
Jay,
is she gonna fuck up DMZ?
I believe no idea, and it's not related to this conversation.
DMZ will be good even with DuVernay fucking it up. It'll be fucked up compared to the comics, but I think it'll be good.
Why are we blaming Ava DuVernay?
because that's what I did as soon as I heard that she was going to be making New Gods.
Because Ava DuVernay has made
we know she messed up a wrinkle in time. We know she messed up a wrinkle in time. We know this for a fact.
We assume it.
Like this is just
like
a
what
fact.
else does she make that I like, Larry?
She hasn't made anything else that you like, Moses. But that doesn't mean that she hasn't made good stuff.
She made Selma, which I hear good things about.
Selma's amazing. Queen Sugar she made was amazing. She made When They See Us, which is amazing.
Which one?
But you know, it's like, huh?
What's the last one you said?
When They See Us, the
which
Central
is about
Park
Central Park
Jogger
5
movie.
The one on Netflix?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Okay,
but I mean that's easy. Like you can't fuck the thing is you can't fuck up that history. Like you need that history to make it good.
What do you mean?
You need the source, you need the source material.
Like
she followed
the whole thing is like, but it's like you're saying
am
that.
I right or am I wrong, Jay? Did she follow the source material on that?
Oh, I didn't watch that. I don't watch that racist shit.
Why are you asking Jay? Like I don't even understand. Like
no,
you're saying it like you're saying it like I don't understand why we're talking about. Listen, why are we talking about this joint like it's not a CW show? Like you all are all here talking about like you act like CW doesn't follow a formula that Ava DuVernay has to fight hard against, and some of those battles she wins, and some of them she loses.
I watched her Skype interviews. Like I watched her Skype.
If you want to go ahead and listen, if you want to fall in that category of blaming black women for things they can't control, you can go ahead and do that. All I'm saying to you is we have a long history. We have a long history of what CW does. I'm just saying. It's like Ava DuVernay is one person. She's one woman. She's one woman trying to work hard.
Larry, you know I'm not the dude that's gonna be like that. Like out of the Fantastic Forum. Like you know that's not me.
All I'm trying to do is tell you what you're doing.
No,
all I'm trying to do is say she's one person.
I'm treating her like a fat white man in this case. She's fucking shit up.
Well, but that's a mistake. That's a mistake. That's a mistake. You shouldn't treat a black woman like a fat white dude that has a lot of privilege. Like, freaking, I'm just saying, it's like, you know, why would you treat her like Epstein or like Weinstein? Why would you do that? Ava DuVernay doesn't have that kind of power. She's out here trying to make her way in the world today. It takes everything she's got.
She's beyond that. Like they pay a premium for her. They pay a premium for her to be on the project. She's beyond that. Like,
we're gonna be like, every DuVernay she has some success. So she has privilege now as a black woman.
Look, she got more privilege than me. Nobody's paying me to make no TV shows.
No, who's talking about you? You're whether you talk about privilege. You're a Latino man. That's a different thing.
Yeah,
no one's talking about you as a white dude. Yeah. Despite your Jewish seeming nose. No one's saying that. I'm not putting you in that category. I know where you come from. I know where you come from.
Yeah, who's being
I know who you are. Yeah. Anti-Semitic. I'm not being anti-Semitic. Yeah. That's what white people say. That's not what I think. I don't look at you and be like, oh, he's obviously Jewish. I can tell you're Latino.
That's because you're a real racist.
So
it's like I just know you for who you are.
So should we rate Naomi?
I think we should stop digging deeper.
We should not rate Naomi yet, because what we should do is talk about how much better the comic is than this TV show, and encourage people to read it. Oh, why are you out?
Because I got to take a leak, and I have nothing. Like, I didn't read the comic. I don't give a fuck about the comic. I didn't give a fuck about the comic when it was announced, and I gave less of a fuck about the show, but I watched it because I knew Joe was going to watch Boba Fett, and he was going to vindicate me, and then I wasted it. So my rating is 1 just from my pure hatred of how it turned out. And so I got to take a leak, get another beer. Big Man 24/7 says we turned into a CNN panel. And that's the most hurtful thing that anybody's ever said in the comments to me.
Moses is Moses' anti-blackness just showed its ugly head.
It's anti-Bendis. Anti-Bendis. I'm against bald white men with privilege.
Look, both. It's both.
No,
it's anti-Bendis and blackness.
That's
His
not
adopted
true.
daughter is shedding.
I got one. I got one shots coming up about black people altogether. I haven't seen your one shot about black people.
Wait, is that your third black friend when you talk about me and Jay and then this one shot?
No, about black comics. Like black comic characters. Like you haven't done you haven't done any one shots about that. So I want to see your
one shots. I'm black all day.
No,
every day, bro.
Yeah.
I don't have to prove anything. You need me to prove my blackness, Mo? Why would you want that?
Yeah. He put this in chat.
Who is that? I see that a lot.
Big Man 24/7?
No, the actual emoji. Is that Willingham? It looks like Travis Willingham.
Is it who?
Travis Willingham.
Who's that?
I'm sorry. He's not into nerd stuff. My bad.
Who is that?
A prominent voice actor and main character in Critical Role, but I guess
I don't watch Critical Role.
I know.
Again, that's more of a sign.
That's
more of a sign I'm out.
Why do I have to watch Critical Role? Whatever. Critical Role is a little overrated, isn't it?
Damn.
So
isn't it?
So what do you rate?
Yeah, whatever.
I mean,
we're talking about Naomi. Stop trying to change the subject, Lauren.
Jay is Critical Role. Look, Jay, what would you rate Critical Role out of 5?
I mean, it's a 3. Like there were better games to watch. Like
Oz. What would you rate Critical Role out of 5?
Dude, what Homeboy is doing with Chetney Pickapok is amazing. Like
okay, but overall, what would you rate Critical Role off of 5?
5, easy. I hate
Critical
that
Role's a 5 out of 5.
I hate that. Not only can I not watch it live on Thursdays, but they make me wait till Monday to watch the replay.
Wait, so you watch it live?
No, I can't. I don't have
Thursday.
Time. I don't have time to watch it live, and I don't want to like jump in after it's been going on for a while. So I have to wait till Monday when they actually post the episode.
Okay.
Big Man says
it's
the number one highest grossing channel on Twitch.
Yeah,
and I believe that. I'm not disagreeing with the statistics. What I'm saying is, how good is it?
Aren't we gonna rate? Are we gonna like watch and discuss how the anime that comes out? It's good enough that you want us to discuss the anime when that comes out, because I've seen you posting on about it.
There's a Critical Role anime?
Yeah, the Vox Machina.
Who are you talking about?
You, Lawrence. The Vox Machina Amazon Prime thing that you want us to watch is a Critical Role thing. Like that was their whole first campaign.
What is Oz even talking about right now?
Oh,
like what is Oz even talking? Like Oz,
don't act like you don't know. Like you.
I don't know what you're talking about
on our show chat thing. You posted it.
Vox Machina, Critical Role, watch the anime. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Are we still talking?
Are we
still talking about Naomi?
Wait.
Yes,
no, we're talking about.
We forgot about that.
We are, but we're talking about. We went on a tangent where Oz's
memory and his nerdiness.
Oz is talking about. I posted something about Vox Machina Critical Role.
Vox Machina, the Amazon Prime anime. Are we not scheduled to watch that when it comes out?
Yeah. The 16th.
But
right?
I didn't post it. Did I post that or did you post that, Mo?
It might have been.
Oh wait, so Joe knows about
it. It definitely wasn't.
No, I just looked it up. Like this is my first time hearing about it.
Right, Oz, you feel like I post that? I don't even know what we're talking about.
God,
I didn't do that.
Is somebody else running your side of our show chat? Is that what's happening now? Like you got people to handle that for you because you can't be bothered to talk to us during the week.
All I'm saying is I feel like you're mistaken. Like somebody else posted it. That wasn't me. That's what I'm saying.
What
that's all I'm saying.
I don't even know if my phone goes back that far in the history.
How long ago was it?
A couple of weeks the last time, because it was when a clip of the show came out. You posted that clip to our show chat.
I did that. Are you sure it was me?
Yes. Oh my God, we talked a lot about politics, man. I gotta go.
Because I'm just saying, like, I do
a lot of space.
That's why like, I don't put in there.
All I'm saying is, I'm not a Critical Role fan like that. I've seen it, I'm aware of it, and I know how popular it is. But I'm not the dude that's like,
watch pretty bloody.
Huh?
So this thing gets pretty bloody.
Which thing? Oh, the anime?
Vox Machina, yeah.
So is that a thing where like the people that do the show are actually like voicing everything and all that?
They're all voice actors. Yes.
Listen, again, I'm not a Critical Role guy like the way you all actors,
are. The characters on that show they created for their D&D campaign.
If he put it, it had to have been like sometime in November because there's nothing coming up.
I'm just saying, like, it was like Oz. I'm just saying it wasn't me because I'm not a fan of this stuff like you all are. Apparently, like you.
I will say,
following.
It feels like it's been at least a few years since Lawrence put anything animated into our chat.
You are crazy. Jay, you're talking nonsense now. That's not true about animated stuff, but Critical Role, like I don't know that I've ever been like, hey, guy.
What was the last animated thing you brought up?
I mean, I'm certain at some point I mentioned some Rick and Morty stuff at the very least.
Nah, not in the last
years.
I didn't talk about Transformers on Netflix.
Nah, that was my brother.
I think
your brother's not in our group chat, you son of a bitch.
No, he is because he pays $1,000 tier on Patreon.
He's no, we don't know. Your brother doesn't do anything with our Patreon. I didn't get no cut of that.
You talked about the first one, which was years ago.
Yeah.
Well, it's not years ago. It's literally like the first Transformers like animated joint is probably like a year and a half ago, maybe.
Right, and that's the last thing you put. That's anime. Anyway.
No,
right,
what I'm saying is it was before the pandemic.
Are we rating?
It's not before the pandemic.
It happened during.
It was.
It look. You just heard Moses say it happened during.
Okay.
You heard that, right?
I know it did because I had time to watch it. And
okay.
I still didn't watch past episode 1.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, dude, like the first, like, come on, man, get out of here with that. You know what? You're right. Where you should rate Naomi. Episode
but before
1.
we do that, we have a Mo deal. So go ahead and play the Mo deal music. Somebody.
I don't have it.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
More money, more money, more money, more money.
As you heard in this convoluted conversation, it was a lot of people didn't read. They didn't know how many issues were in Naomi, but every appearance of her is on sale right now at Comixology. You get every single issue for 99 cents, every trade paperback for $3.99. Your Young Justice,
nice.
What is it? Her main Naomi series thing, like trade paperback, all that.
See, I would join in on that, but you guys made fun of me last time.
On using
join in on what?
I'm buying trade paperbacks, digital trade paperbacks, when I already own the issues.
Oh no. No, you own the issues. Yeah, you don't need to be doing that. This is for the people in the audience. The big man in chat, 24/7. He needs to get on this. Get that Naomi. If you like Bendis like that and black female characters who skateboard, I know that's Larry's deterrent. Yeah, but yeah,
Listen,
that's
I love it.
It's a really good deal. I would buy it if I cared, but I almost bought the Young Justice one because I like Young Justice, but it's like newer Young Justice, so
right.
Humberto Ramos isn't drawing it. Yeah. So
I will say that I can personally speak to the initial Naomi series 1 through 6. It's amazing. So whether you want to buy single issues, or you're right, or you want to buy it as a trade, it's worth it. I think you'll be very satisfied. And if you had watched the TV show already, and then read this, you'll be like, oh, I can't believe they didn't follow this more closely. Because there's a lot of different little changes that don't make sense to me personally, but may make sense to CW corporate sponsors, Sons of Celibates. So
Ava.
You said Ava?
Yeah, the changes make sense to her.
Okay, if you say so. I don't know. I'm not gonna blame her, but I get it.
I mean, she put her name on it.
Well, yeah, but there's a lot of names on it.
Hers is the biggest.
We're not going through that.
Right. I feel like there's a reason.
Like, me, yeah, that's a 2. It was a little enjoyable, like when I put myself, like if I was a 7-year-old girl, like, and I see this, it might be cool, but not enough cool shit happened for me to be like, I want this doll too, So, it's not a show that's made for me, and I'm okay with it.
Right.
Who it's made for, I don't know, but that you watch it and
there it is
in the comment section, But yeah, it's definitely a 2. The Sanagarian with metal feathers, I wasn't feeling. But
Archangel.
Yeah.
Jay, what would you rate it?
I guess 2 sounds like a good rating. Like, it was sad and tropey, and the changes were pathetic, and
yeah,
it's just a lot went wrong. Very little went right. I'm so tired of the glasses thing too. It's like that is so played out at this point, and
yeah, you're right.
It's not good, but the girl wasn't super annoying. Like, she did what they told her to do, and
right. No, the casting is good.
Like her
for her.
And that one girl almost looks exactly like the girl from the comic, the large friend.
One?
Her friend that she was talking to.
I disagree.
Really?
But I feel you. I don't like her.
No, I don't talk about liking her. I'm saying she looks almost exactly like the girl from the comic.
I don't agree with that. I don't think
it's
so.
It's just her hair is pink. You know what? Next week I will put the 2 pictures up side by side.
Fuck that. Do a YouTube show.
Wait. When you say her hair is pink, you're talking about the comic book girl? The comic book store girl?
No, the fat friend.
But her hair's not pink in the comic.
It is pink in the comic.
You can't trust Larry's eyes.
She's not blonde in the comic?
No.
Okay. All right. Oz, what do you think of Naomi episode 1?
Wait, I didn't finish.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I don't like the show, but I'm gonna watch all of it because I already paid for it.
Can you make review videos for each episode?
I can try my best.
Because we need.
If you choose to do that, Jay, I'll do it with you.
Here's the thing: if you do that and it gets monetized, that's a tax deductible, and you didn't pay shit for that shit series. You know, and it makes content for the channel.
There it is, Jay.
Because there's no, Jay. Aside from the live shit and whatever Oz and I do, there ain't shit.
All it has to do is make money.
We need diversity on our channel.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because these two white dudes, man, they're terrible.
He's like, I ain't doing like that. Mm-hmm, that's Joe for that's Jay. That's Jay speak for saying I don't do shit.
Right there. November 12th. Mayor Young added the Legend of Vox Machina trailer official Amazon Prime Video. I have it right there. You can't see it on the camera, but I'm gonna keep holding it up. You know what? I'm gonna screen cap this.
Yeah,
sounds like propaganda to me.
Yeah, because
like
I remember seeing it. and
what is it? The Legend of what? Vox Machina?
Don't even just stop.
I don't know what we're even talking about.
I wish our Patreon, $1,000 tier subscribers, Hans and Franz, like I wish they actually listened live so they could actually put their screenshot. But Oz had it. Like my text delete after 30 days. They just gone. So.
No, I keep a record for just these occasions when I get called a liar.
Look, that's pre-production. That's pre-production level 100.
Wait, so this joint says it's 2022, right?
Yeah, but the
so I posted about this when?
November 12th at 9
of last year.
Yeah, when it was announced,
when the trailer came out officially. It says trailer official.
I definitely didn't do that. On what platform?
I just sent you a screen cap. So
on
check
Prime
your phone.
Video.
How about that? It's Amazon.
No, but put it on. Okay. Oh, I'll share. No, I got it.
Yeah, I can't put it on the screen.
So this is her in the comic.
That does look like pink hair.
Yeah.
And this is her.
Wait, where's the?
From
I
the
missed
show.
it. I was looking at Legend of Vox Machina. Wait, what happened? Can we see her in the comic?
This is her in the comic.
Uh-huh.
And this is her.
Is that okay?
Oh, Oz. Hold on. What? Oz, you sent the wrong screen. Oh no, never mind.
But they don't look the same, right?
Yeah, they do.
That's the fat friend. She don't look.
Yeah.
Boba Fett looks better.
Does that look the same, like the same person to you all?
I thought you said she had pink or purple hair or something.
In the comic.
Well, she had purple hair in the comic. I agree. They don't look alike. Like, even if you put pink hair on this chick, she doesn't look like the same chick.
This girl is average. She is not fat.
No, I mean she's bigger in the show, but they don't look the same.
I thought she was bigger in the.
Also, in the comic, she's white.
Right. I think that's the biggest thing.
Well, to you,
they don't look the same.
You see race, so predominantly, you know.
What platform is this?
Mayor.
He still can't believe that he sent the text.
Rate Naomi. Mayor, rate Naomi.
I have rocked his
world.
world.
Have Swamp Thing to do.
Oh God!
Right, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right. I'm gonna give it a 2 as well. I'm not happy with the translation. The end.
Okay.
Let's do Swamp Thing. Comic book news or comic book news.
scary
comic book
review. Scary
comic book like
review.
Well, not like that, but like. That's not what I needed.
I don't have the normal comic book review music.
But that's
scary. That's Halloween.
It's a horror comic, yeah. I mean, did you read it?
But I don't have the.
I read it.
We need to add a clip of the normal review theme.
Wait, now what
version?
What platform is this that we're showing right here?
That's our text.
That's just a screen capture of my phone.
I had to blur out the number of one of I think it was Mercurial. Yeah.
My bad.
No, but it's cool. That's why it took me so long. But that's it. MY right there says
it says Mayor Young right on top.
Yeah, right.
It says MY and it says Mayor Young, but I didn't send that.
Yeah, you did. I mean, who else sent it? Maybe Nia got in your phone.
I don't even know what that is.
All right. Have you
like what text? What even?
Mayor Young may have
let me ask you this question. What text stream is that?
That's our pre-production text.
Yeah,
that's the one that.
Oh wait, so Oz, your text is in it's a black theme.
Well, he has a dark screen because he works at night. He doesn't need all that light hitting his face. It's an iPhone thing. You guys don't have that yet.
You're not cool like that.
I'm sitting here I see that it says Mary Young, and I see.
If your chat can go, I don't know the limitations of your bootleg Android phone, but if your chat can go back to November 12th when you sent the message, you'll see it.
Really? Oh, jeez. Okay. So I just have to go to Legend of Vox Machina.
Well, I mean, you don't have to do it now.
No, I'm doing it right now, goddamn. Y'all, look, Mo, talk about Swamp Thing Green Hell.
Swamp Thing Green Hell. Well, this is where we go into my love for DC Black Label, even though editorial plays a part in here. But it's cool. Swamp Thing Green Hell, it's a book written by Jeff Lemire, and it's drawn by Doug Mankey. And when I tell you about Monk, I love this guy, so now I'm gonna pronounce it how I think it's supposed to be pronounced instead of just making fun of it. I used to call him Doug Monkey on those Green Lantern books that I didn't enjoy, and but now I call him Doug Monk because this shit's amazing. They do a good job with Jeff Lemire. If you were around for the New 52. Jeff Lemire and Scott Snyder were handling the Rot and the Swamp Thing respectively. Snyder was doing Swamp Thing, and they were working together to give you a story that interlaced these two books. They were doing their individual stories that eventually connected, played through each other, and then spread out on the other end. And it was a really cool dynamic. And now Jeff Lemire does Swamp Thing.
Real quick, I think we would be remiss in dismissing David Barron, the colorist, and Steve Wands, the letterer.
I will. I was gonna definitely go into that for sure. The lettering, when we review the art, the lettering is, when the green is talking, when the gray is talking, when the red is talking, when the rod is talking, the fonts and all that flow in, just the word bubbles flow in, they all had a voice. And that's something that is that's some Alan Moore shit. When you talk about Swamp Thing, it's like each of these entities and concepts of the green being plant life on Earth, the red being animal life on Earth, the gray being the Montango, the great mushroom from Jupiter back when Jupiter had life in it, and the Rot being, the decay that they all feed each other. But the like that, yeah. Jay put up this page, this colors, that sunset, right from the opening page. Joe, if you can bring up that opening page when the dad and the girl are fishing, like just that sun setting on the ocean, like is the colorist did an amazing job, and it's a well crafted book, and I love it. It's yeah, just right here, this top panel, you know, you got the blue of the ocean, the orange of the sun setting, and then the cooling of the sky as it bleeds into night. Like it's a masterpiece just in one panel, you know. And that's the colorist work, yeah. But the story itself is a post-apocalyptic horror tale of a group of people that have lived in the world past the ecological decline of our planet Earth, and they're living on a small patch of mountain that's the last bit of dry land that they know of. In there might be some out there too, but we're not getting that story. We're getting the story on this mountaintop. And it goes into these pirates, this something we would have liked to have seen on Boba Fett, this criminal syndicate that's controlling these few survivors in this drought and famine and hunger-stricken land, and they're taking advantage of it because that's what bad people do. And you get that here, and they got to make the choice. They got to stand up to these people. It's almost like The Walking Dead to a certain degree, with some of the core group dealing with your Negan people and the saviors and all these. You have that, but in a Swamp Thing world where it's as much about the people living in it that survived the economic decline, but it's also about these entities, the red, the green, the rot, and the gray, kind of wanting to restore balance, and they turn on the last bit of life that is on Earth. They're like, you know what? Let's just destroy them all. Life will come back, and we'll survive if we just destroy them all. And the green finds an avatar. They're like, the green is the one that's going to have to do it because these people live on land, and it's the only one strong enough to really just eradicate them all. And we can reset and bring new life to Earth after this humanity that brought it to its own destruction. They brought on their own destruction. And there's also a subplot with a guy living in a lighthouse that nobody ever talks to, and they're like, well, at the last resort they go to him, and it turns out it's old ass Constantine. And at the very last page, he summons Alec Holland from within the green. It's like, hey, your green's fucking up. Like, you need to do something. And he knows. And that's what I love about Jeff Lemire, because he loved Alan Moore's Swamp Thing. So he called back right to issue 27. He's not going to be happy to see me. I don't give a fuck what New 52 did. I don't give a fuck what we did. It's like Constantine is summoning Alec Holland from the green. He's not going to be happy to see me. And it's like, dang. It's like I never, like I read my Vertigo. Like, I'm going into my review. From that moment, like, I didn't even know it was Constantine. I thought maybe it'd be Dr. Fate or, but judging, from a Swamp Thing, it makes sense that it'd be Constantine now in hindsight. And it's like I just read my Vertigo Swamp Thing books and then jumped right into this. It's like, man, this is what I would like. And I'm about to do the journey and jumping into the Sandman universe on Black Label. And I hope it's just done as well, but I doubt it. But yeah, dude, this book got me right where I like it, because to a certain degree, I'm an environmentalist, and I care about the environment, and I want solutions to certain problems, and I know that those come with compromise. They're not like, the solution I want is a Thanos solution, but we're not going to get that because Infinity Stones are with Jesus. They don't exist. Yeah. So it's like those solutions. We need real world solutions to that real world problem for our descendants. Yeah, and seeing this, it's like, man, this is like, it's somebody, Jeff Lemire, clearly from reading this, is somebody that thinks on a similar level than I do, maybe a little better because he's smarter than I am, because he can actually write things, and showing you a horror story based on the consequences of our actions today. Yeah. And that's the scary part of this book.
So Oz, what did you think of Swamp Thing Green Hell?
I liked it, especially that the way the first issue ends was like amazing to me. I've been reading comics for a long time, and people die and get resurrected all the time. And one of the most impactful scenes for me was actually in Buffy when she gets brought back, because it was, at least to me, it was the first time somebody was resurrected and was angry about it. She's like, dude, I was in heaven. I was happy. Why are you this selfish that you brought me back and took me out of paradise? And that ending scene in this book, like, just took me right back to that moment. And it's great. Kind of glad that it's Constantine. Mixed feelings that he's that old, especially with that mountain of cigarette butts. Like, well, I guess he's probably using magic, I assume. So I'm not too angry about it. Definitely make me want to read the next issue, because up until that point, I thought, okay, so we're gonna see a totally new Swamp Thing, because this person has been anointed the Swamp Thing, and he is not Alec Holland, and he's a bad dude, but that's what they need. Like, that's the whole point. So I thought this is going to be a whole new Swamp Thing. All right, let's see where this goes. And then Alec Holland steps in. Okay, all right. So now you got me. You've hooked me. Let's see where this goes.
Okay, Jay, how about you, man? What did you think of Swamp Thing Green Hell?
Well, it started out a little slow, but then it got really good, and like was consistently great from that point on.
What's the page for you that got really good?
Yeah, I was gonna ask the same thing.
When the green and the red and the rat are all having that conversation with the bird, and then like you see under the soil, it's like an animal under the soil. Like, that page was where it got really great, and it actually got me to like reread like the beginning of the book, because I noticed from that point on the art is amazingly striking from that point on, and it got me to go back and look at the beginning art to see if it was as striking as well. I just didn't notice because I wasn't invested yet. And I feel like the colors are great in those beginning pages. It's just the subject matter isn't very striking. But then, like, you get to the horror elements, and they're all beautiful to look at. And it all starts with that one page, which I would bring up for you, but for some reason, Comixology is dying.
Yeah, it's I've been having problems with it on my Kindle Fire.
Really?
For some reason, yeah, it's been acting up a lot, and to the point where I can't read on it. Like, I buy books on it.
That's unfortunate.
But I can't read on it, and then I read on my iPad. But if I don't have my iPad, then I'll read on my computer. But at that point, it's like it's easier to just read the bootleg comic site on my phone.
Right.
After
Right.
Yeah. And that's the this, the physical version of this book is a big copy. It's a bigger book, and bringing it down to the phone, it don't work. I'm glad I bought my iPad Pro, like the newest one. That thing's amazing. Those black label books, those prestige format books fit. It's the exact same proportions of that screen, so they just fit perfectly. I finally finished that question book that Jeff Lemire did too, that I always complained about. I bought 3 times trying to read it in a proper format. And so it turns out it's either physical for that question book. It's either physical or iPad.
I will say that this book for me was really interesting just because, like I had read the Swamp Thing Future State book before this.
Yeah.
And I can't say for certain just because DC continuity is like DC continuity as of right now. Yeah, flux is a good word. That's the kind word for it.
I don't even know what it means.
Right. But what I can say is this: is that Swamp Thing Future State feels like, in a lot of ways, feels like the future of Swamp Thing Green Hell. I don't know if that's actually the case or not, just because, again, we're talking about DC continuity, so who knows? But it feels like it. Right. It feels like it could be. And so, but this book is actually very interesting. And there's a lot of just the fact that you get like a different Swamp Thing and the Green, like giving their power to this person that has a task that's very different from what we've known what Swamp Thing was to do before now. And then, of course, you got like you mentioned before, the introduction of like Constantine, and then Alec Holland being brought back. It's like all of it sets itself up definitely for like someone who, whether you have been a fan of Swamp Thing in the past, or maybe like, let's say this is the first Swamp Thing book you've ever read, I feel like it sets itself up very well for you to be like, I want to read the next issue. And so, yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. I mean, it's really interesting how it puts itself out there, because while I can definitely understand what Jay was talking about, where it's like, I'm not sure if it's compelling in the beginning. I can get why some people would feel that way. At the same time, I feel like if you give it the shot, it's like, by the time you get 2 or 2/3 of the way through, you're like, what else are you going to read? It's like you're invested. So it's good stuff. And I like the idea of Green Hell. Green Hell is awesome.
I really, being a Swamp Thing fan and being a horror fan, but there's a specific like horror genre that you don't see a lot of, but it does come, it springs up. One of the earliest environmental one is The Birds. Like that, like you read Green Hell and it's like, oh, that's the Red trying to come back. And then there's another movie that is basically a zombie Holocaust movie, like the zombies come and kill everybody, and it's just the animals. It's called Day of the Animal, which is still one of my favorite like environmental horror movies, where it's like nature decides, it's like, you know what, these humans are fucking up. And this was done in like the 60s or 70s, before Al Gore.
Yeah, it was 70s.
Yeah, before when we were just starting to hear about the environmental collapse being a possibility. And Day of the Animal is like, yeah, it's like nature, it really has no explanation. Just all the animals decide to just kill humans for one day. It's like the Purge, but with nature and animals. So you just see a bunch of random people just die, and I love that. And then seeing that brought that similar concept done here, where they're just actually the what is it, the parliaments of the trees, the gray, and the fact that the blue isn't there, and the blue is a prominent part in the modern Swamp Thing lore, thanks to Charles Soule rather. Sorry, my Jewish side came out. But Charles Soule, his like how the AI becomes its own life and has its own parliament too. It is a crazy thought, but it's not here, because guess what? When the world floods, and you can't have a computer, So and the gray, seeing the gray, what was nice. I saw the gray back in Ellen Moore days, and I saw it. They brought it back in, I think, the last bit of Scott Snyder's Swamp Thing, and in the transition of Charles Soule's, where they had the mushroom Swamp Thing avatar. You don't remember that, Larry? I know you read it because you told me about it, but
no, I did read it, and I do actually kind of remember it.
But this book is just. I think the fact that it's Black Label gives it that leeway to just do its thing, and really embrace that genre that it is, this environmental horror where nobody that's a human is safe because all of nature is after it, because the humans fucked it up.
How many issues is it if it's Black Label? Usually it's 3.
Yeah, I think it's 3.
Only 3.
Yeah,
it is 3.
Yeah. And that's why they're a little longer. 1 of 3. Yeah, they're a little longer.
It's 3, but it's a little longer. So, like regular comic, it'd probably be 5 or 6.
Maybe I think closer to 4.
Okay,
but they write them for 3, so the flow feels good for 3. I am gonna buy the physical copy of this because, just the size that it's done, like it was easy to read on my iPad. Perfect, but that art is just done so well that I want to see it. I want to be able to just look at it randomly when I'm having coffee or something, or a beer or something. Yeah.
And that's the thing. When I started reading it, I think Jay said the same thing. Yeah, the colors were nice and all, but it was, it felt like it wasn't. I don't want to say bad art. I mean, it's good. It's good, but it felt like average. When you get to the point where the Parliament starts talking, like it just gets into this weird abstract thing that just looks great. It's just at first it's just like the dead bird and like just random things talking, and then progressively it just gets weirder and weirder and weirder to where like I was actually a little bit glad to go back to the regular looking people, because I'm like, oh dude, there's a lot coming at me at these pages. Okay, regular ass person, here we go. And then he turns into a Swamp Thing and does it. Just the art is good.
It says a lot about you and me, Oz, because I know when I went back to regular ass people, I was like, okay. Let's get to more cool shit. But yeah, I loved it, and I could talk about this a little longer, but really it's just a well executed book. It came out in 2022 or 2021. I think it came out.
I think it's 2021, isn't it?
Yeah, the last week of 2021.
I mean, like literally, if it's 2020, if it's 2022, it'd have to come out in the last last 2 weeks. But I think it was 2021.
But either way, it's a great way to start the year, and I'm looking hopeful for these comics. I've there's a lot of stuff coming down the line in comics, and hopefully we get to bring you a lot of that. But yeah, this one is a good start for me. I was so happy that I enjoyed it. Like, these days shit can go either way. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Anybody else got anything else to say about it?
It came out December 28th, and issue 2 comes out. I thought this page would
I think it comes out next week, but
I think you're right.
It's 48 pages for $6.99. Issue 2.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Here, February 22nd. So next month.
Oh, so that's the end of next month. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. I mean, honestly, it's just like it's a well executed story. It's the art is really interesting and amazing. So, I mean, I don't know, like, if you got a good story and you got good art, I don't know what else you want from a comic book.
Yeah. I'm just mad my local comic shop closed down, so I can't go get it like after work.
No, I'm sorry, friend.
It's not my fault.
Jay,
I mean,
it's not your fault. I agree. Jay, what would you rate Swamp Thing, Green Hell, number 1?
Well, no, I mentioned earlier that it would have been a travesty had I not read this. This is a 5 out of 5. I love this book, and I love the artwork and the gruesome horror, and the Constantine was fun at the end.
There you go. Oz, what would you rate Swamp Thing, Green Hell, number 1?
Same thing. 5 out of 5. Pick it up. The art is great. The story is good too. Yeah, the first couple pages are a little bit slow, but it's a build up. You know, as long as cool stuff happens at some point, you can deal with a little bit of slowness at the beginning.
Well, and that's part of comics that we don't talk about. As part, I know we talk about it when we review it, but it's one of those things that takes off a point or adds a point is the flow, the way that it's written, not just the writing, but the way it's written, the dialogue that's used, the narration, the dialogue in between the narration boxes, like the flow, everything just flowed perfectly. Everybody had a distinct voice, and you never felt like you never felt like you could skip narration box. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, what would you rate it, Mo?
Easily a 5 out of 5 for me. Like it's you know, I always complain that the modern Swamp Thing books had too much superhero-y art, and this one has that, but it does have Doug Monk's sensibilities. Like, he knows what you want from a Swamp Thing book, and he's a superhero artist, but he gives you what you want from what you would have seen. Like, if you would have seen this like abstract art done this well in the Vertigo book, like Vertigo would still be around, you know. And so this is like the perfect blend of everything. And you got Jeff Lemire, like he could write a book like Justice League Dark, Hawkeye, and then go into a Swamp Thing book like this and give you some like creator. Like he's one of my favorite writers. Period. I will never give him less than a 3 on a rating, even on a bad book, because like the bad books is just something he just didn't put his heart into. And I would hate that there's something that he doesn't do that, but there would be something that I could feel he didn't do that because of my expectations of him. But that's his fault for being so good all the goddamn time. So it's a 5 out of 5 for me too.
Well, there you go. Well, I'll say, you know, I felt a little differently. I give it like a 2.3 out of 5 just because. No, I'm joking. It's a 5 out of 5. It's amazing. No, it's amazing.
Where's that record scratch sound effect?
No, it's an amazing book, and I know for myself, it's like.
Sorry.
What, you're speaking in tongues on that joint. That's amazing. No, but I know for me,
give a real review.
I know for me, like, you know, like I will say Moses basically like kind of put me onto Swamp Thing So as a person that wasn't like a big fan of Swamp Thing, I want to say like before like the New 52, it's like reading Swamp Thing then and like kind of like being brought into like that version of its lore has been really interesting for me. And I've read a lot of like Swamp Thing stuff that I would not have realized I would have liked before that moment. And I technically still need to go back and read like some classic kind of Swamp Thing stories.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to that just because I know it's going to be good. It'll be different, but I know it'll be good as well. And so just like, but I know that the stuff that I've read has like built upon that foundation and took it to a, like the next iteration. And so I'm looking forward to that eventually as well. But yeah, like, it's good stuff, man. And it's like, it's just interesting stories either way. Like whether you like Swamp Thing as a character or not, the stories are interesting. So just read them and check it out.
Swamp Thing is a weird character because they bring him into the superhero stuff. They'll use him. He had his cartoon. He had 2 movies. He had the TV series, and all of it. All of it is good. It's just even the second movie. Like a lot of people didn't like the second movie, but the second movie was really like it was like a PG-13 movie with these kids in the swamp, and the kids added humor, but it was really about these kids being lost in the swamp. And we've read comics where it's kids lost in the swamp with Swamp Thing. We reviewed them. And it's like that's a feasible. Anything to do with Swamp Thing that DC has done or in other media is somewhat feasible and would make sense. It's like you just choose to do the story about the people that encounter Swamp Thing instead of Swamp Thing's story, And that's the beautiful thing about Swamp Thing. And yeah, man, it's good shit.
I agree.
Even the Brightest Day shit, like that shit fit at that time in the DC universe.
I agree.
That shit fit. Yeah.
I agree. Cool. All right, folks. We've been on for a minute now, so I guess it's time for us to get out of here. Let's play some outro music.
Outro?
Closing or final thoughts. Final thoughts.
I was delaying because I couldn't find the button.
No. Let's go with Oz. Give us some final thoughts,
Oz. Coming soon. You get to look at my package. It's a lot of dick in this last package. Like small little preview right there. Oh look!
Wow!
No, hold that pose.
I'm putting my dick on screen.
That's Oz's little dick.
That's my little dick.
It's Oz's little dick.
Finally,
everyone gets to see it.
But you gotta zoom in.
I've had 4 Newcastle juice drinks.
We get to share Amber's pain.
Or lack of it.
Okay, Jay, final thoughts.
So I guess there's finally some good news in 2022. Amazon is canceling I Know What You Did Last Summer. There will not be a second season. So, finally this year has brought something good.
Season? The movies weren't okay.
When did that show start? I didn't even know that was a thing.
Like 6 weeks ago or something, right?
I talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't do a full review, but I did mention how stupid it was.
Yeah.
And how asinine the characters are. And this fucking plot makes no goddamn sense. It's like, you know what? No, I'm not going to get into it right now, but
that's a one shot.
Thanks, Jay.
It's fucking so dumb.
Jay's acting like he don't have to go to work tomorrow.
Right. Jay's out here wilding. Moses Magnum, final thoughts.
Man, look, we reviewed Swamp Thing, Green Hell. Read it; it's good. If you want to wait for it on DC Infinite, they formatted their DC Black Label books to fit your tablet. So all the DC Black Label stuff that's in big format that you can't read digitally well unless you buy it physically, like it works on that app. I'm surprised at how good that app is. So do it there. Hopefully we can give you a discount code. I got to reach out to them, but they also don't want to do like me, representing them. So who knows? We'll see. But yeah, aside from that, check out, subscribe, like, hit the bell. We're gonna have a one shot coming tomorrow for a book called Lead City. That was actually a comp from a comic book company that they want us to preview for you, and then we have Oz's package in the morning tomorrow morning. That shit'll come out bright and early. Set your alarm
clock. Package in the morning.
6 a.m. tomorrow morning is a good
right when you wake up.
Oz's package, yeah.
You open your eyes and Oz's package will be in your face.
It's Loot Crate, and if it actually came in a wood crate, it'd be Morning Wood. But yeah, you'd be getting that tomorrow morning. Aside from that, yeah, man, thank you for joining us. Hit the like, all that, yeah.
It's actually not Loot Crate. Culture Fly. Hashtag not sponsored.
I just wanted to make it Morning Wood.
I know, but Loot Crate sucks.
Right. Yeah.
As I said.
There it is.
Your PSA got a good response.
But yeah. All right.
All right, folks. For the entire Fantastic Forum, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate you. We'll be back next week. In the meantime, do what Moses said. Like, subscribe, let us know, comment. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see more of, what you want to see less of. We would appreciate all that feedback, and we will actually read it and take into account. So, for the entire Fantastic Forum, thank you so much. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next week.